The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sweet 16 Thursday, March 27th, 2025. This program starts now. Sports are happening all around us, and obviously yesterday we had a LeBron-versation that caused conversation around the entire sports world, and we are incredibly lucky to be the ones that were able to, seemingly showcase a side of LeBron that not a lot of people have ever seen, ourselves included. There's been a lot of reaction. I think a lot of people have said, holy hell, LeBron is a human. What about the I think? Never really, but he seems to be a normal dude somehow after having 22 years in the NBA, let alone more than half of his life being publicized for every single moment he's made. Somehow he's remained a guy who could sit down in a room of people he does not know and have a normal conversation and react in ways that any one of us or any of our friends would be able to. Now, there is a difference. He's 6'9".
Sure.
He's 215 pounds. He's one of the most successful sports stars in the history of the world. Mm-hmm. He's one of the most popular humans in the history of the world.
Yep.
He's one of the most successful humans
Definitely.
in the history of the world.
For sure.
Came from Section 8 housing all the way to this. One of the biggest American dream stories in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Knowing everything he does is going to be chatted about and reacted to. Literally everything he does. How he eats, how he reads, how he sees, how he speaks, how he operates, how he wins games.
Yeah.
Well, he passed the ball to Luka before he had the game winner. Immediate reaction by people. Mm-hmm. Literally everything he does is chit-chat. Tyrese Halliburton makes a massive shot. The Pacers are going to beat the Lakers. A massive comeback in the beautiful city of Indianapolis, Indiana. The Lakers have one more shot. LeBron passed it to Luka. Did he get that in? Yes, he did. That thing falls. Even helps up his teammate while he's celebrating a game winner on a day in which everything he had said previously was being debuted to the world, and the reaction was absurd. D-Bone and Mitt are in that crowd cheering on LeBron because of what he did for our particular show and our business, which is incredibly kind. And Tyrese Halliburton goes, of course this guy. Uh-huh. Of course this guy. It was a great night for the NBA, and I think yesterday was a great day for the NBA as we learned even more about the superstar that has carried that league for so damn long. So I'd like to say one more time, hey, shout out to the King. Thanks for coming by. Now there's people saying, you would've.
Yeah.
And there's other people going,
Yep.
Well, I do.
why wouldn't he? And we would like let everybody know when it happened, we all had the same. We even pulled up the roster, the high school roster with Wendy on it. And I think the reason why it was potentially said is because this is what we thought of Wendy and LeBron's relationship, just as people that are kind of outside. I think just yesterday on First Take, maybe, Russo, shout out Mad Dog, he said, it's a good get, it's a good get LeBron for over an hour. I couldn't do that. Maybe Wendy could do that because I think that's how Russo viewed Wendy's relationship with LeBron. And then everybody was saying Wendy never said he was friends with LeBron, like a lot of people sticking up for Wendy, which once again, we like Wendy.
That's right.
And all the people sticking up for Wendy probably like Wendy as well. We understand that. But there definitely was a narrative that Wendy is basically LeBron's guy. He wrote 4 books about him. Yeah. He wrote 4 books about LeBron James. He covered him in high school. He said his mom taught him in high school. He watched his first game whenever he was 14 and deemed him the guy. He's been covering him throughout the entirety. I think all of us assumed, that's why he put him on the photo, and that's why Mad Dog Russo yesterday said Wendy could probably get him on there. We all assumed that was a thing. And then, LeBron kind of, for the first time ever, just is like, it's been kind of weird, this guy. And it's like, we did not expect that.
No.
And to Wendy, I don't think Wendy, well, maybe Wendy did. I don't know. You know, how does that relationship actually operate? One that we've seen for 20 plus years now. How is it? Because you have to see each other. Got to read 4 books about you. Okay. You would see each other, you would assume. We hope they too, you know, just like we hope Stephen A. which I said immediately afterwards. I hope they get a chance to do that. But it was incredible to listen to him talk about all the other shit too that wasn't drama worthy. Like the way he goes about operating his business, his warm-up routine, his commitment, how he goes about being who he is, what his thoughts are, shouting out his mom. Like, there was so much in there that maybe didn't capture or captivate the headlines and the drama, because there was a lot of that potentially still being stirred up in it all. So we're going to show some stuff that I think should have got a little bit more love out of the LeBronversation here in a bit. We got a commitment coming in the college basketball world out of Co with Pete. He's a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year, State Player of the Year in Arizona. He 4-time state champion. Okay,
Great.
So gets to high school, he just wins. We're winning
All of it.
Okay, this kid's older brother, offensive lineman currently for the Raiders, 6'7" offensive line. This guy's dad, 6'8" offensive lineman in the NFL. 6'2" offensive lineman in the NFL. He is a 6'8" monster.
Yeah.
And do we follow high school hoops that closely? No. But I will say, as soon as I was introduced to this guy's highlights and then his family lineage, it's like, this is a dog.
Yeah.
And he's down to his final 5 schools there. You see Texas, Baylor, Houston, Arizona, Arizona State, Arizona kid. The reason why he's in Arizona is because his dad played for the Phoenix team, Phoenix out there. So his like, he's built for it. He's a guy. And now, where is he going to play hoops next year? We shall see. Speaking of college hoops, Sweet 16 tips off this evening. Can't wait for the next round of March Madness.
Go.
This round sometimes has big-time blowouts because Cinderella teams for the first weekend get into the next weekend, and somehow the magic doesn't carry, and then the good teams are awaiting, and it's boom. This year, because there hasn't been a Cinderella story, this year because there hasn't been as much madness as we thought, Arkansas, led by Calipari, is kind of the Cinderella conversation. I think that should line up for some great games this weekend, starting tonight, and then obviously tomorrow Lucas Oil Stadium is hosting some of them here in Indy. That should be a blast. But we'll talk to Greenberg, Coach Greenberg, in a little bit here about what we should look for tonight and how these teams do that he thought were going to do good. He has Florida.
Oh, yeah.
They were in a dogfight with UConn, but he also liked UConn. So we'll get his takes on it all. And then Wyatt Hendrickson, the wrestling heavyweight champion of the NCAA as of last weekend, will be joining us. Second lieutenant in the Air Force, transfers to Oklahoma State because the Air Force and military academies do not allow grad competitive sports or whatever. So he transfers to Oklahoma State for his grad year, and then he becomes national champion. He's second lieutenant in the Air Force. What's next for him? We shall see. We'll chat with him. And also, the amount of respect that Gable Steveson gave to him, I assume that this dude is well respected by his peers. He's a champion. It was a great moment. Can't wait to catch up with him. And once again, that Madness is electrifying. They need to move it maybe in between these.
Yeah.
You know, maybe in between the first round in the Sweet 16 or before the March Madness lead up, because it would be a great kickoff into March Madness. Nonetheless, it happens directly on the same day as day 3 of March Madness. So not a lot of people get to see it. It is electrifying. Can't wait to catch up with Wyatt. The boys are here at the Talks Table, at Bruce Brown and at Ty Schmidt. You guys are all Yankeed up. I forgot. It's opening day here, boys.
Baby. That's right. This is what we play for. This is what we live for, really. You know, to wake up on this morning and just realize anybody can win the World Series this year. You know? And it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know. So are you going to get super invested in day one of the season? Should you? Maybe not. But I'll tell you what, I know I'm going to be living and dying on every pitch that is thrown this year for the Yankees, because that's what you got to do if you're a baseball fan. And for the first time in a long time, you're going to be doing the same thing with the Pirates.
Yeah, you're damn right. I am going to be paying attention to the Pirates. You know, Paul Skeen's on the bump today.
Exactly.
Yep.
Happy Paul Skeen's bump day. Just so happens to be opening day. He is the ace for the Pittsburgh Pirates. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tony's here. Pittsburgh Pirates actually in the conversation until they're not. But right now it feels like they have an actual shot at this thing, which I love. And it's all because this absolute legend who has this humble confidence about himself, understanding what he can be and who he currently is, getting his first opening day start for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Is he going to be enough to be able to lift an organization that was once a very proud organization back into the lights of October? maybe even September, baseball mattering in this entire thing. Tone is a lifelong Pittsburgh Pirates fan.
Yep.
Didn't really pay attention to the Pens as much, even though the Pens were winning in Pittsburgh.
Sure.
Pirates were losing in Pittsburgh. But you were a part of a number one high school baseball team. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I can't skate. Didn't play baseball either, and the Pirates stunk. But now, feels like they're back, Tone. And this is what opening day is all about. Just like in the NFL. Before the season starts, everybody thinks their team has a chance. Baseball has that same feeling, and opening day is more like a celebration, I feel like, everywhere.
It is. Opening day in a lot of places is a huge celebration. Obviously, Cincinnati gets a lot of love for their opening day. St. Louis has a huge opening day. Big opening days around the country. Pittsburgh has a huge opening day celebration as well. They are down in Miami today facing the Marlins. And, yeah, there is a lot more hope this year because Skeens will be up there all year. And if he pitches every fifth day or so, he should get 30 wins, 30-0 probably is what I'm thinking. So you book the Buccos for 30, and now if the pitching staff is good when they get Jared Jones back, the other Hundo boy when he gets back, hopefully they get some wins. Mitch Keller is a good pitcher. They got a new Hundo boy coming up, Bubba Chandler. I don't know if when he's going to come up, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, they could get some runs. Okay, they get some runs for Skeens.
Someone to get some runs.
Bingo.
O'Neal Cruz, he's the guy, but hopefully they get Skeens 1 or 2 an outing, 30-0 at least for Skeens. Get a Cy Young. He's the best pitcher in the league. No argument there.
Shout out baseball.
Hell yeah.
That's about those.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You see the Yankees duo here?
Oh no.
See them on the left there, Bruce, coastal elitist.
I think satin starter jacket from 1998.
One on the right there, Ty names, but I think because they love baseball.
Yeah.
Their captain, Derek Jeter, was supposed to come on the show today. We marketed it. And we said we don't like doing that.
Precisely.
Good reason. Because if we come out and say, Derek Jeter's coming on the show on an opening day, and everybody goes, wow, that is so cool that that's happening. Myself included. You guys woke up this morning.
Couldn't sleep last night.
Pulled the old jacket out.
Pulled the old jacket out, the lucky jacket.
Couldn't wait. I knew you were going to put your glove on and you're going to say, hey, Cap, want to throw?
Yeah, exactly. I have a catch, maybe.
How many years did he play for the Yankees?
20.
Straight.
Yes.
The guy.
Arguably the greatest Yankee of all time.
You were so excited.
Maybe more excited for that than I was to sit down with LeBron.
No way. Don't you ever say that.
I mean,
That's one of the biggest combos we've ever had.
yeah, I know.
That's the biggest combo.
That's a little hyperbole, and he's not in here, but still, I was over the moon.
Derek Jeter's not on the show today.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why?
Not Derek Jeter's fault. Actually
it's
got a
not.
personal phone call from Derek Jeter saying, hey,
He's classic.
there's broadcast stuff. Networks are doing the thing. I'm not happy about it.
What network does he work for?
Fox.
Those greedy corporate fat cats.
No, there's a lot of history between
There's
a lot of history between the networks.
Yankees are actually playing on ESPN today as well. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history there. So we just like to let everybody at Fox know we get it. Hey, we understand completely. And to our captain, your captain, down the road, bub.
Down the road.
Love you,
down-
Keith.
Thank you for everything.
We were bummed out though.
Yeah.
There was a bummed out.
Yes.
And that's why we should never market anything.
No.
Now, granted, last night I put out a post. And the post was about a huge moment in somebody else's life that we've never met before, okay? So I was, when the opportunity was presented, I was so incredibly excited and thankful for it because whenever I made my decision to go to college, I know that's like a day that I'll remember, forever. This is a huge moment, not only for the player, the whole family, the school, and anytime we get asked to be a part of something like that, we can't help but be honored and full of gratitude. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's a four-time Arizona State high school champion. He's a three-time Arizona Gatorade Player of the Year. He's a three-time gold medalist. He's a one-time USA Men's Basketball Man of the Year. He's 6'8", and there's 5 schools that he is considering, ladies and gentlemen, to make his college decision. A guy whose dad played in the NFL, older brother played in the NFL. His whole family is basically collegiate or professional athletes. A man who's about to transform a program. Go Pete. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I want to let you know, being introduced to you here recently, watching your highlights, you're an absolute, you are an absolute dog, dude. And
I appreciate it.
No problem. Obviously, the family is a massive piece of that. I think, to to get to this point and to have this mindset, the amount of work that you've had to put in and commit to, you should be incredibly proud of yourself. And if that, I don't know who that is over your left shoulder, but they should be proud of
Mom
themselves.
right here.
Is that Mom?
Yeah.
Mom, you should be incredibly proud, Mom. Hell yeah. Okay, Koa. Obviously, you're highly sought after. I just read off your entire resume of success, and you're a 5-star. And in the world that we're in right now, you are the exact person that every college basketball team is trying to get there. How did you get to your Final Five? And inevitably, where are you headed to go continue your basketball career?
How I got to my Final Five, just having serious talks with my parents and cutting down my list throughout my process. But there's only one school you can pick. So first and foremost, I would like to thank God. Without him, none of this is possible. I want to give a special thanks to my family for the unwavering support. Thank you to Perry for an amazing 4 years. Thank you to my principal, Ms. Patterson, and my athletic director, Ms. Burks. A special shout out to my coaches, Coach Dwayne and Coach Harwig, for making me the player I am today. Thank you to my athletic trainers, Allison and Olivia, for everything. Special shout out to my teammates. I know y'all boys out there watching right now. Shout out y'all boys.
Boys, champions.
Also, I'd like to give a special thanks to my trainers, Coach Kenny and Chuck, for the countless hours you spend in the gym. Also, I would like to give a thank to all the coaches that have recruited me throughout this process, but I can only pick one school. So with that being said, I'll be going to the University of Arizona.
Okay! Congratulations to Arizona. Congrats to you, Mom. Congratulations. And what you just did there, thanking all of the people that have got you to this point, is the exact reason why I was so honored that you even thought about doing this on our program. Obviously, Arizona, I believe, has Bryce James headed there as well. I saw a lot of the reaction last night from the people of Arizona, either scared to death that you were going to leave the state, or if you were going to stay, you were going to go to the other Arizona school. Yeah. Why did you end up picking Arizona, and how hard of a decision was it over Arizona State or some of the others?
It was a super hard decision. Like I said, me and my parents had really serious talks about it, but I just felt like Arizona was the right situation for me. Coach Tommy's a great coach. They have great assistant coaches over there for my development, and they're a winning program. So I'm just excited to come down and play in McHale.
All right. Well, congratulations to you and your entire family. Arizona plays tonight, Sweet 16, taking on Duke, 9:39 on CBS. And I feel like the entire fan base and team even is going to be lifted because they got an absolute dog coming. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Cole P.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on the show. It means a lot.
Hey, come back next year when you're doing your thing. Come back on.
Yes, sir. Let's do it for sure. Let's make it happen.
Okay, good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Cole P. Yeah. I didn't expect the entire. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
That's like a cool moment.
Yeah, Ray's right. Kid gets it.
Yeah, and who's with you? Is it your agents and everything, or no, just Mom?
Just his mom. Yeah.
Just Mom. We're just hanging out here. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Part of the entire thing. There's professional and collegiate athletes throughout that entire family.
Oh, yeah.
And we talk about it in the NFL whenever a second-generation player is up, like Shador, for instance. Like, there's a natural reaction from everybody that's in the sport to be like, okay, at least this person has seen it before. LeBron was talking about it a lot in the conversation about, like, inspiration and people to watch and, like, whose path can you kind of mimic or at least learn about in the entirety. And he talked about Lang, and then he said then once we got pretty good, Lang started hating on us. And it's like that's going to happen through it all. But whenever you have, like, a family member who's done it, you literally, like Osa talked about it with his older brother playing, you get a chance to see, like, what it takes to be great. Like, and even though football is different than basketball, making your body as good as it possibly can be to give you every chance. And obviously he's 6'8". So, and LeBron mentioned, like, I have God-given talents here. There's a couple, 6'9", 6'10",
right?
And I can run very fast, and I got great dexterity. Like, that's a God-given thing. But, like, what it takes to be a pro, what it takes to, like, be great, you assume that all the sons or daughters of professional athletes, because they got to live it and experience it, they would understand. Like, the amount of commitment, the amount of time, what you should focus on, what you shouldn't focus on, that's quite a head start over, like, everybody else.
To that point, as a high school senior, like, when he was thanking everybody, I was like, all right, so he's got 2 athletic trainers, he's got 2 basketball trainers, he's got all these, like, that's like he's already a professional Just coming out of high school, we already, because of his
Yeah, it was
brother.
like a retirement speech there.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
He's already got a
Nailed
full
it.
team.
nailed it. Absolutely
Thank
nailed it.
everybody.
Yeah, and shout out to Miss Patterson too, the principal.
Yep.
Yeah.
She gets it. Mm-hmm. Miss Patterson understands. Like sometimes I got extra. Hey, I got 100 free throws I got to do. Okay.
I'll be late for stay hall.
Hey, sorry, I was late the first period. To be honest, I'm more mad than you are. Okay, took me about 20 minutes to hit the amount of shots that normally takes me 15 minutes. So everything was backed up. I apologize. Oh, so you were working? Yes. Here's a note. See you later. Is that what Miss Patterson's doing over there at Perry High School?
Sounds like it.
And she's like, listen, you win 4 straight state championships for her.
Yeah.
We're okay with you getting the last
Yeah.
We're okay with that. I assume he's a great student.
Yeah.
Just the way that entire thing goes.
For sure.
Just going to be able to handle the moment. Arizona now has Bryce James over there. Mm-hmm. They have obviously Koa going over there. And it's like, I watched Bryce on Instagram. I think he won a state championship as well.
He did.
I think he can really,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right? Like he's, because he hit a big growth spurt. So I think like this was going to be the thing. And then instead when you talk about knowing what it looks like, he has a pretty good idea of what it takes in that whole thing. What about Arizona going forward? Hold the phone. Are we college basketball people too all of a sudden? Calipari, Izzo, Patino, Coach Greenberg's coming on. Now Koa Pete's coming on. The college basketball community has been very nice to us, and we are very, very thankful for that.
Derek Queen the other day, too.
Yeah, I forgot about Derek Queen.
Early last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
early last
okay.
year. It's kind of crazy, though, I think, because when we first started doing this, and anytime, not this exact scenario would get proposed, but during the tournament, it'd be like, oh, do you want to have so-and-so on? A lot of times those kids were just not the best interviews because they're still college kids and they're kind of immature and don't really know how to do it yet. These kids now, everything they have to go through, he was ready for that moment. You know what I mean? It's like they go through so much more than kids had to 7 to 10 years ago. They almost already are seasoned professionals by the time they're committing to wherever they're going to go to college as a senior in high school, and that was never the case before.
Yeah, Derek Queen was like a 35-year-old talking to him.
Exactly.
And he dropped I don't know if you heard, he was asked about LeBron James talking about his play in the conversation, and he said, I wish he would have said, and I'm like, we like this guy. Yeah, we enjoy this guy. The Sweet 16 obviously tips off tonight. Arizona, which is the next home for Koa Pete, will be playing Duke at 9:39 on CBS. Duke favored by 9.5. Florida favored by 6.5 over Derek Queen in Maryland. A lot of storylines around there with Coach Willard.
Oh,
yeah.
Just talking about Coach Willard. Coach Willard, a week ago, I forget when he said that, there's been some interesting dynamics with the Maryland treatment of the basketball program.
Correct.
Couldn't get an extra night in the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big part of it. Is I think they were in New York for a tournament around Christmas, and he wanted to stay an extra night with his team, let them celebrate Christmas in New York together and everything. And the school was basically we don't have the money for that. Get your ass on a plane and get back to campus. And he was kind of just saying the way the landscape has changed. We all understand what it takes, and we're in the Sweet 16 right now, or it was before the tournament. But it's we have a great team, but if I'm not allowed to do what I need to do to kind of continue to be successful, I don't know how far this can go.
Yeah, he was kind of alluding to it. So then as soon as you hear that, you think to yourself. And then Maryland, I know they're in the Big Ten, but going on a run here. Maryland also a storyline in this entire thing. He's allegedly now going to Villanova.
Yeah.
So allegedly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it got pretty loud.
it's almost more than a legend.
Yeah, and a lot of Maryland people are not happy about that.
Sure.
But if you listen to the way Derek Queen talks about Willard, I don't think that's going to affect them.
And if he's not going to the NBA, he might be in a Villanova uniform next year.
He really likes Willard, yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, but he's 6'10", can move, can shoot, and he's on a Sweet 16 run. We assume there's going to be options for the NBA for him.
Yeah.
But if I think these teams are just kind of groups. I know they're representing Maryland, but I think the way he talks about Willard and the way Willard talks about them, it's and the way we're watching coaches go places and every team just basically go. It's you're almost just signing up for this. Hey, this is coming. We can add some pieces, but this is what it's going to be. So I don't think it affects the team on the court personally. Which I think a lot of Maryland fans are this is going to distract. This is a great opportunity, and the only thing the players are going to think of is him leaving or whatever. I don't think that's going to be the case. Personally, I don't.
No.
Well, with McNeese, McNeese, they were one of the biggest upsets in the first round of the tournament. It was announced before their game that their head coach had already taken the NC State job. And like he was very honest with them. He was like, "Hey, this was the goal all along. We're trying to get to a Power 5 conference, and if I go, like I'm trying to bring a couple of you guys with me." And so they already knew that, and they went out and they upset. I can't remember who they played, but they had an upset in the first round as a 12 seed.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Because he said, I told my guys like, hey, we're trying to get back to the Power 5 or Power 4 or whatever it is. Because he came from LSU, goes to McNeese State, now at NC State, and he told his guys like, hey, this is our audition to get back to the Power 4 or whatever. And as long as you're very open with them, I think the kids these days they get it.
And the boombox guys come with them, so it's
that's true as well. Aura,
yes, he is.
His name's Aura.
Amir Khan. Amir Khan.
Amir Aura.
There.
Yes.
Khan.
Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he's going to NC State with him.
Six figures. Buffalo Wild Wings couldn't wait to get on that.
That's right.
You remember whenever the super fan for the Chargers,
Marianne Doe.
Marianne Doe, you know who got on that board? Buffalo Wild Wings.
B-dubs.
Oh yeah.
Amir Aura Khan comes walking out. There's somebody at B-dubs. I think we know him, actually. You probably talked to him a couple times. Yeah, we need to be in there next.
I like that.
How much money is it going to take? Well, we're getting some,
Good
beatbox, boombox. They're telling us we can get 99,000, 100,000.
Yeah.
Amir Aura Khan's like, I think this is a pretty good deal.
Not bad.
Hey, Coach Wade, all they want is just right here on my boombox. Not going to really change anything.
He got a lot of hate. I didn't love that.
Well, anytime you're super successful out of nowhere, I mean, you're going to get, you're making $100,000 allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be people that are like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's always going to happen.
Yes.
That people just need to understand.
True.
And I think Aura should just understand that that's going to happen. You know, whenever it was being announced that you were going to make 6 figures
Carrying
a boombox, walking out in front, there's a chance that people are not going to love that. Like that is human nature.
That's what Aura's all about.
Yeah. Your aura is going to bring both positive vibes, and immediately, because you have aura, there is going to be some, it's going to come. Yep. And then now, did they get creative?
Sure.
Sure. And that is the modern world, which I do think is different than back in the day that maybe not everybody understands. Back in the day, I heard them talking about today, like, you don't think blah, blah, blah was critiqued or didn't have any critics or people saying anything negative about him. It's like nowadays you hear and see what everybody is saying. And the people that are on TV, we're a part of this too. And like, we got to really make sure we watch that. But we, not to all other viewers, obviously there's a lot of people that have their own brains and their own thoughts and their own opinions, and they watch us to disagree with us or potentially hear what our thoughts are as with what their opinions are, but everything's forming opinions. So whenever opinions are being said that are all the same, for a long time. Now, Stephen A said 95% of the stuff is positive on LeBron. Okay, all right. But once again, LeBron said stop, so he needs to understand negative shit's coming too. That's
right.
that whole aura thing. But like, you can shape people's thoughts and narratives with what you say, especially if it's all they're digesting. And then nowadays they have the opportunity to say those things, and they feel a lot more comfortable saying those things. So yes, we believe that people back in the day were certainly criticized, but it's nowhere near what it is now. And people are like, well, stay off the phone then. Well, like, people in stands, I know back in the day it used to be like pretty crazy places, but like everywhere you go, you're being monitored and being like, everything in your life is being hammered about. So I think it is massively different. Just like Amir Aura Khan, like, he's seeing a lot more of the hate that he would get, but people would have hated, just wouldn't have had the ability to let him know that they hated that they have now. This in any era, like in LeBron in any era would have got hate in any era, just like Michael Jordan got hate in his era. But now it's just so prevalent. Exactly. And it is like so loud, and it's everybody, and people are taking lines from people and they're using it as like their entire reason to hate people. It's just a matter of fact. That's just like how the world, not just sports, that's politics, obviously. Mm-hmm. We all see something happen, and then people go, and then they come back, and it's like, now we have our sports, something happens, people go, okay, now they come back. This is how it is. Always been like that, but now it's just like constant, and it's like everywhere. And I don't know what it was like in the 70s, and I don't know what it was like in the 80s, but I feel like social media certainly made the world a smaller place, and that's good for connecting with people. That's good for getting to know people, the real people, but it's also good for people to be able to talk their shit, and people are really good at talking shit.
Yeah.
People are really, really good at talking shit these days. So I think it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah, because I assume back then it was mostly either print journalism or like nightly news. So like if you weren't local or regional to whatever was going on, like I don't even know how, like, if you lived in Iowa and there was a story about like Magic Johnson and they were killing him, like, I don't know how you would get like an LA Times in the 70s. Like, there'd be like no way that you could read what the criticism was, because on the nightly news they're not covering that either. And obviously sports media as a whole has just exploded in like the last 20 years. So like you said, I mean, back then, if you're getting shit on, if it's on the other side of the country, you'd never hear about it, ever. There'd be like no way you could. And now it's like, every single corner of the globe, people are taking their best shots at you. And I assume that was never the case.
Aura's in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hey, he's going to be stronger because of this going forward.
He's laughing his way to the bank.
I don't think he is. I don't know. If he's a normal human, if he's a normal human, your first round of getting murdered is tough.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that is like it's not in when you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. Like after you get absolutely, because he was getting loved, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting loved by everyone. McNeese State, I assume, love this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Student section love this guy. I think a lot of people, everybody in the program loves this guy because they're actually like promoting this dude as like a hilarious piece of it. Obviously, the coach loves this guy. So he was probably beloved for this gimmick since the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Then you fly too close to the sun. And listen, Aura, I want to let you know, I understand what you're going through, brother. Okay? Your gimmick much cooler than our gimmick, but fly too close to the sun.
Sure.
And then once you get introduced to new people, you're going to get... Now, you need to strap that fucker right back on your shoulders.
Yep.
And you need to walk out next year with NC State, and you need to be just as comfortable, brother. There's a reason you're called Aura. But there's going to be a lot of shit said to you, and you're just going to have to keep on going. That's your life now.
Yep.
That is your life now, Aura. Until you just disappear from public eye, that is kind of what your life's going to be.
Yeah.
But we think you got it.
Yeah.
We know you got it.
He does.
For sure. Proud of you, Aura.
Had a baby Aura.
You're either born with aura or you're not. Like, he's not going to lose his aura.
No.
I think you can.
I think we'll pass saying is there's a chance you
I
can.
think you can.
Not this guy.
I agree. I'm on your side. I think Aura's going to be good. But I'll tell you, these people on the internet are talented with their words.
They are.
And, boy, some of the things that get said just me, I couldn't even imagine what Aura's getting.
Also, there hasn't been like a gradual, like, okay, we're starting to kind of get sick of this guy. You go from like one day everybody loves you to like one day everyone's like, fuck this guy. I'm sick and tired of seeing him. Like that's got to be pretty.
Okay, so
jarring.
he's profiting off it? Okay,
Yeah.
It was cute for a second.
Yeah.
Now this guy's making
so
more
his
money
money,
than I'm
yeah.
making in 3 years to do this. Fuck this guy. It's like, hey, that's just a natural human instinct.
Yep.
Natural human reaction to a conversation is, hey, let's find, the gems. Let's find the gems in these things. I think some of the gems from the LeBron conversation weren't talked about as much as I think they potentially should have been, because it was an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, and obviously there's going to be a few moments there. Ice cream, tighty whities is going to get talked about.
Sure.
Okay? Super weird.
It's going to get talked about.
That's going to get talked about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? Lottery.
Mm-hmm.
I understood the assignment. That's going to get talked about.
Yep.
Okay? Obviously, for good reason. Those were all but there was a lot of other gems that I think we could have taken away from this to make us think, you know what, LeBron James, maybe this guy is just a human, not just a name, not just an object that has been placed in our lives in the world of basketball for the last 25 years. If you go back to his high school promotion as well, it's like maybe we can learn some things from a guy that went from Section 8 to the top of the world and has navigated rather well. Has certainly made some mistakes. Admitted yesterday, admitted 2 days ago in a conversation yesterday, whenever it aired. But I think there's a lot of things you can learn from somebody that is going to be considered the greatest of all time in some convos, and never in other convos, because they listen to an hour and 15 of them and say, I don't want to hear it. That's the same bullshit. And it's like, okay, you just didn't even want to hear it then. It sounds like, here's some takeaways from the LeBron conversation that we think should have more conversation. Coming from nothing to everything, being in the public eye, at some point that is going to collapse a human.
Yeah, for sure.
For you, it feels like it hasn't. And there's been a lot of things said. There's been a lot of fires that you've been put into, either you walked into yourself or thrown into. Why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because your mom? Do you think it's because what?
I mean, obviously, I give her a lot of credit for the way she raised me, the way she taught me, the things that she was able to instill in me. It was also me just looking at her, the way she moved and the way how determined she was to be able to make my life better, even with the circumstances that we were growing up in. So I give her a lot of credit. I have some little league coaches too that, taught me about not only just, playing the game and teaching me the game of basketball, but also being a young man, throughout my small adolescent years. And then just like, to be completely honest, like I didn't want to fuck my opportunity up. I knew that the statistics for an inner city black kid to be able to be in a position that I was in, especially from my hometown, it never ever happens.
Never.
It never
works out either.
It never happens, and if it does happen, it never works out. It was a. I mean, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but the only inspiration like we had was like Jerome Lane, the guy who like dunked and shattered the backboard that played for Pittsburgh. He was from Akron, Ohio. Like we saw that and we was like, oh shit, that's an inspiration. And then I went through high school, and all my boys know this too. Like I went through high school and we was playing against the inner city kids because we went to an all Catholic high school. And fucking Jerome Lane was like hating on us. Yep. I was like, oh, this motherfucker. Like he's back in Akron hating on us, like going against us. And I'm like, oh shit, you was like our only inspiration. We like looked up to you. And I was like, you know what? I can't fuck this opportunity up, man. If I get the opportunity to make it, I gotta do what I have to do to put my city on, to represent my last name on my back, man, my family, my friends, and also like it's sport. Sport has given us so much. I mean, I look around here. I mean, fucking baseballs and NFL helmets and basketball jerseys and like
luchador masks.
Like seriously, like a putt thing. Like seriously, like it's given us so much. So like I couldn't mess the opportunity up.
Well, you've done. Hey, I think you figured it out.
Yeah.
You've done good.
For me to go down to Miami, man, one, it was a terrifying experience for me. You got to think. I don't know a lot of people know. It's the first time I ever left my hometown. I was 25 years old. You got mad. My first 7 years, even though I played for Cleveland, I still lived in Akron. So for 25 straight years, I was
awesome house. You had an awesome house. We've seen that. That's a great house.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable. That is my comfort. My comfortability is being in Akron, Ohio. I drive 30 minutes to Cleveland, play my games, and then I shoot right back down to Akron, and I'm good. So for the first time, it's like I've always used the analogy, like I felt like this was my college moment. I didn't go to college, so like going to Miami was my moment to basically get out the house with my parents. I was going off to college, and I learned a lot, man. And shit, 2 championships, 4 finals appearances, 2 more MVPs, and things that I can always look back on and say it was a hell of an experience.
You mentioned you didn't wait, and I forget which one of them it was, but they told a story about Pat Riley fucking with your cookie.
Yes.
Is that a true story? Yeah. Is that a real story?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
It's a true story. Now, like, Rouse wasn't like Rouse was on the plane and I was about to get my cookies and Rouse snatched them out of my hand. You know how stories can become a little bit, they kind of build to Sasquatch at some point. Yep. But it was. I mean, there was a time where everyone knows I fucking love chocolate chip cookies. It's like my my biggest vice.
Is it specific?
No, it was literally the plane that we were getting on. The ladies on the plane were making chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, homemade.
So they knew.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so they were making them and bringing them because we had the same ladies all the time. It was a party of 6. They were rotating every time. They knew I loved chocolate chip cookies, so they would get on. And I would. Hey, soft with a little crispy edge.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And I would get on, and they already knew. They'd bring me 2 cookies, and I'll get the gambling with the guys, and I got my cookies, and we good. And then one flight I got on, I looked at them, and they looked at me, and I'm like, oh, that look didn't look familiar. And I asked him, I was like, we got the? He was like, no, we're not allowed to, no more cookies on these flights.
What?
And we all know where it came from. I looked at D-Wade. D-Wade looked at me. He was like, basically, without even saying, he was like, fucking Rouse done it again. Rouse strikes again. I was like, damn.
6'9"?
Yeah.
Let's say you're you look very thin right now.
Yeah. I feel good.
So 215, 6'9", 220. Could easily get to 260 though. I think that would play in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, come on. I could play.
Just like
I would be able to play in any area. It's funny you hear some of them older guys like LeBron James couldn't play in this era.
Never been fouled by Bill Laimbeer before.
Yeah. I think I seen like Dennis Rodman say that one time. He was like, LeBron James, not skilled enough. Yeah, not big enough. He's not, doesn't weigh enough. He's not strong enough.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
You probably lost a lot of trust in media, I would assume, because of the things that happened. Not just what was said on TV, but what it led other people to probably think they should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it all started with the decision. The decision really like had me like, sit back and like, because people literally like, I give a moment. So the decision, you know, it was brought to me to be able to, you know, do something cool on TV, you know, do a kind of college style. And like I said, never had went to college. I was like, you know, this would be pretty cool.
Put a hat on.
Make the decision, put the hat on, but also, you know, raise $2.5 million for a great cause, you know, and also be able to, you know, make it cool. And the funniest thing is, from that moment, it was December 2nd, 2010 was my first game back to Cleveland. So I stay at the hotel, stay at the Ritz downtown in Cleveland. And this one I knew that it was, people did not even really care or didn't even understand the situation. They just wanted to be a part of the nonsense. I hit the elevator to go downstairs to the bus, catch the bus, to go over to, I think it was the Q, the Quicken Loans Arena then. And the elevator opens, and it's two guys, random guys on the elevator. You guys can always pull this up. They used to have these FUKLBJ t-shirts.
Okay.
Black t-shirts, red letters. And I see the two guys, they see me, they say, oh my fucking God. Oh, no, listen, this is, man, we love you so much, man. We're just here for the spectacle, man. We're just here for the spectacle. Like, seriously, we love you, man, and have a good get. And the elevator door closed. I was like, oh, yeah.
Those are two white dudes, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because we're outnumbered right now.
No, we're all in this together, brother. We're all in this together,
it was like,
brother.
oh my God, man, we fucking love you, man. Like, oh shit, don't. And the elevator closed. I was like, you know what? This is all part of the spectacle, and it's about to go. It's about to get haywire.
So the decision, you think, is whenever the conversation kind of changed a little bit about you?
Yeah, because they just needed something. They needed something. Everything was so positive, you know, and and I gave them no reason to make it negative.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking up.
But they needed anything. You know, I'm doing everything I need to do on the court. I'm not out on the streets. I'm not being caught in all the bullshit that doesn't respect the game and respect my craft. It was like, oh, you decided to go on TV and make a decision for your career. Oh, we got you. We got it. We finally got it. We finally made a little chink in the armor.
We got something.
We got something.
It's selfish.
Oh, it's selfish.
Yeah.
You selfish mother. Yeah.
And then that caught a little bit of fire, right? Because a lot of people don't like seeing people that are successful in anything, especially if somebody is taking happiness from them and their team, which you were doing, obviously, with the Cavs. And then that just got, you're saying from that moment is when
Yeah. Listen, man, during the ball drop, you know, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was.
Whoa, what are you?
What a coincidence!
Don't you think?
Wemby with the Spurs.
Oh my God! Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. You know, Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like, I understand the assignment, guys. I had to make sure that, you know, I had to do my part. I didn't want to be a fuck up. I just didn't want to be a fuck up, man. Like I said earlier in the show, like, no one gets this opportunity, man. It's 0 to none, and I couldn't be a fuck up. So that's what came with it.
Talk about you flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
That's why people get mad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why do you do that? Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He's the greatest of all time for us. In the conversation of the greatest of all time, the rules indicate that if you're to hit him, he gets 15.
No doubt.
Is that the same thing for you?
I wish, because I am like literally over like the last 5-6 years, why everybody's been claiming I flop all the time. I'm like in the bottom half of free throw attempts per game.
Oh, they won't give you the whistle.
You don't get the whistles.
You don't get the superstar treatment?
You know the funny thing is, I have a lot of teammates that be like, they come to the Lakers and they be like, man, when I used to play against you, I used to think you got every goddamn call and I hated it. And now that I'm your teammate, it's like, oh my goodness, you don't get any calls. I'm like, hey, you know, don't worry about it. Just keep playing.
No, I'll just wait till you see me in the third quarter. I got a good flop coming. I practiced on this one last night because there's a video from the Last Dance where I think the ref says to Michael Jordan, he goes, I didn't see it, Michael. I am so sorry. I would never do it to you, and walks away. Yeah, I believe you, Michael. Yeah, that's the clip. And
I saw that. And Michael's like, oh, God damn it. Yeah, I saw that.
There was that saying, what, you spent like $1 million on your body or something.
Man, I don't know where the hell that shit came from.
Okay. That's a very fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. But I mean, listen, man, I do take care of my body, but I have no idea where the amount of money came from. But I do invest in my body for sure, trying to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Obviously, a lot of soft tissue work, a lot of massages, a lot of hyperbaric chambers, ice tubs, ice baths. Whatever I can do to continue to play at this level, man, I'm going to continue to do what I'm playing. Seeing Saquon, out there, and I got guys, wearing my shoes now. Yeah. When Saquon did that move where he, turned backwards and did a pirouette backwards and jumped up in the air and, he had my kicks on. I was like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, I didn't know those were yours. They were sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he had the LeBron Retro 4s on in a spike when he did that.
Spin move nasty.
Oh, my goodness.
Those are in the bronze.
Yes. Yeah, I was super, I was going crazy. I couldn't believe it,
I didn't even know that.
So, I love it.
Taco Tuesday, you thought that? Is that real?
It's today Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Tuesday. That was quite a situation. Barbershop, another one.
Oh, yeah, man, the shop. Oh, yeah. I grew up in it. That was easy. That was another easy one, man. It was too many conversations that's going on right now that's not the essence. It's not the essence. Mm-hmm. Man, I remember getting dropped off as a 5-year-old. Mom dropped you off. She go do what the hell she had to go do, make her errands. She talked to the guy that's cutting your hair. How many he's behind? About 3 or 4. Okay, about 3 hours. Shit, being there about 3 hours, and I gotta wait there and sit there and wait my turn. And in that moment, that's when you hear everything. You start hearing about the best MC that's going on right now, the best hair product, the best beard oil, the best people in sports. Your music. It is everything.
Drama.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing goes on in a barbershop. So, for us to be able to create that platform, the shop, to be able to bring on all the beautiful minds that we've brought onto the shop, men and women, it's been a pleasure, it's been an honor, and we're keeping that thing going, man, because it's a comfort place. I went to the barbershop from when I was 5 all the way through high school, and to be able to have that sense of truth. It's the one place of truth where you can go out there and be like, this is who I like. All right, that's who you like, and we're going to fight to the battle about it. And it'll be a new topic the next day. And, I think it's pretty cool.
You guys did a couple watch-alongs, too, for Thursday Night Football?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Oh, that was dope. You guys know my love for the sport of football. So to be able to do that.
You wouldn't be able to take a shot, though, remember?
Yeah, couldn't play.
6'9", 250 pounds, wouldn't be able to handle football.
Yeah.
The Olympics, you saw your eyes blink sideways? What was that all about? What was that? What the fuck was that? Hey, I need to know what happened. Is that always happen? Your eyes always blink like that? Or is that just at the Olympics? I
don't know. That was probably my Michael Jackson Thriller video moment. When he went from he kind of turned into that beast of his. I don't know, man. I saw that and it kind of freaked me out too.
Yeah, okay.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you also saw it.
Terrible.
You also saw it and thought the same thing everybody else did. Okay.
Yeah, there was people oh my God, he's actually there in Paris and he may be at his home in California at the same time.
This guy's not a human.
Yeah, this guy's not human.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That was a real conversation that was happening.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it a couple times. I was like,
hold on.
I'll tell you what.
I mean,
The fucking eyes are interesting.
I can't sit here and say that it was not real, was not real.
Okay.
We just leave it at that.
Okay.
We just leave it at that.
You don't read those fucking books before the games, right? All those books.
Yeah, we
you
need to talk
open it,
about
you
that,
open
you're
it
right.
to the first page,
Yeah.
and then you don't read those fucking books ever again. Great role model.
I listen. I actually have finished those books. Oh, hold on.
Like if you were to hold this,
Hold on. I'm
people say you would say you read it.
Oh, this is how.
That's the art of winning.
Someone take a photo.
All right, take the photo, please. Pat, take the photo.
Yeah, we got it. Hold on.
You got it? You
I'll
got
take
it?
it from this angle.
He probably read Rich's book.
We got it.
The first page.
Wow, holy shit. Braun read it.
And then that's it.
That's it. I didn't even talk to you guys this whole time I was up here. All I did was read the whole book.
Like Meteor Man.
That's it. Meteor Man.
Everybody might not know that movie, but
It's a classic, by the
yeah.
way. It's a classic.
We can't thank him enough. That was fun.
Thank you, LeBron.
That was fun stuff. The book thing is interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because what if he did? Because we heard Wendy break down his spatial awareness, his memory, and everything this morning on First Take. That was interesting listening to the dialogue afterwards, and I guess there's some things that have been said that, I mean, what a wild time. What a wild time. And just like I said yesterday with the big conversation afterwards with Steve A, hope one day you just get to move along.
Yeah.
I don't know. Womp, womp.
I don't know if that's coming anytime soon.
I don't know.
But then also the answer, hey, hope you guys can figure it out. And also, thank you to LeBron one more time. Okay, we got some NFL news. Big news, actually. The NFL Competition Committee will be doing its new rules conversation. There's some new review rules that are happening, challenging rules whenever there is only whenever there is a flag on the field, penalty would have to be called. If there's no penalty called, there's nothing that they can really stop and go back and say, hey, that should have been. But I believe they're just going to be adding in the review or the quick replay conversation much quicker into more broader things. The NFL, it is like it is a slow-moving ship. It's very large, very powerful, and the people that run it at the end of the day are 30 billionaires or 31 billionaires. And they obviously have competition committees and other people that are pitching things. And Roger Goodell obviously does a job of having to manage all aspects of it, from media rights deals, sponsorship deals, strategy planning, relationships, future relationships, and everything else we're going to do. But for something to happen, it takes a while.
Yes.
Normally they plant a seed. You plant a seed, and then they kind of watch the reaction publicly, probably to the seed. And then if it's okay, it's like, all right, we'll hang on to this. Then they'll institute it a little bit somewhere, and then they'll test. Then they'll test it a little bit. It's like everything is always like a slow-moving thing. And then if they don't like it, we're getting away from this. Instant replay for the pass interference was something that had been talked about for a while. And then a big situation happened. They kind of had to do it. Then they got rid of it because they didn't like what it was. This new kickoff thing was a conversation for a while. Now they institute it, make a massive change to the game. And then now they want to keep it because they saw some positives. How do we make it even better? Well, this was like the initial pitch. The initial pitch was that a touchback would go all the way out to the 35 instead of to the 30. And the reason why 35 is so much different than the 30 is because the touchback before this rule change would bring it out to the 25. So to the 30 is only 5 yards. People are giving up 5 yards on first down basically every single time. So who cares? To the 35, that'd be a first down after a touchback, which whenever, the percentages of when do you score and when do teams put any points on the board at all, 35-yard drive start versus a 30-yard drive start is a bit different on when points happen. So I think the 35 was going to scare teams out of just kicking touchbacks. The 30 did not. Early in the season when guys could kick touchbacks, they were just kicking it out, and it looked like a weird-ass kickoff. It looked like, why is there no line of scrimmage? This is football. There's supposed to be a line of scrimmage. There's 2 lines of scrimmage? Okay. And the kickers are going to be standing back there on a little island. Can we put a little spotlight on him? Can we put a little spotlight on this guy? And everybody else is down here. And then they can't move until the ball. That's a weird thing. So the ball is snapped. Nobody can move until there is some other thing that happens. Then everybody just has to assume when they can move. If they move too early, that's penalty. And if they move too late, they're cut. So it was a lot at the beginning. Then we realized once these returns started happening, it was like, okay, can kind of deal with the awkward view. Yeah. I think that would be kind of an awkward kind of view to start, especially with what a kickoff has been for so long. And now they want to create more of that magic. They want to scare teams out of kicking more touchbacks. It was the original rule proposal. They put it in a little bit. Then he found out, okay, we do probably need to do that. I think that's going to be a thing, and I like those kickoffs. Turpin, I think, opened everybody's eyes for Dallas. Yeah. When the ball bobbled, he had a spin move, and bang, 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 instead of crib. And then there was some in the playoffs. It's like they're trying to get that back in the game, and if this is the way to do it, and moving it to 35, I think we all think in the special teams world will definitely make more returnable balls. I like what they're doing, adding more explosive plays to the game.
Yeah, I'll never forget, I was right around this time last year when we were at the owners' meetings, when we originally were told, hey, it's probably going to be the 35, and then it ended up being the 30, and you said, I don't know if that's going to be enough or whatever. You and I are old enough. I remember when touchback came out to 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And now it's, 15 yards is a ginormous difference. So yeah, you would assume this is going to make a big difference in guys not just kicking it out of the back of the end zone like they did in basically the Super Bowl when it really mattered the most. Because that you get at the 35, one catch, you're at midfield.
Also, another rule that is going to be changed. better know how to run your nose.
No, you better not.
No.
Okay? And if you got a runny nose, you need to figure out how to rub it politely.
That's right.
Cannot be aggressively. Cannot. No more.
Nope.
No more intense wiping of the noses. Okay? It's over. Stop it. No guns.
Yep.
No fake guns.
Right.
No, do I have a gun?
Don't
Okay?
even say.
Don't even point that might look like a gun. Even a little point that looks like the cricket from Men in Black. We don't need any potential guns being on the screen during any time. And everybody was like, all right, that makes sense, actually.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That one college kid went out with a bang. He actually,
Yeah.
well, not only the kid that lifted up his shirt,
Oh, yeah.
pulled one out,
Yep.
pulled the other out, and was like, just make sure everybody knows
Bang.
this is what it is. It's two of them. And then shot a guy. That left, I think everybody was cool with it. I think that was good play.
Yeah.
I think it was good play for the future. I think we all like that. That nose wipe is an interesting addition to the you can't do that rules whenever it comes to celebrating. And we'll see. CeeDee Lamb's going to have to figure it out down there, and we assume he will. What if he just does like a casual nose wipe and then first down?
I think that's okay.
So if he does like a one of these,
Like an itchy nose versus a like wiping the snot.
yeah. What if it is just like a?
Then
Then it might be a cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
This could be the final fallout of COVID. Okay, we don't need to be spreading germs. Okay, this is probably what the NFL.
So you're saying keep your fingers away from your nose.
Yeah.
You got a runny nose? Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Use your slit. Use your elbow.
Oh yeah, those are good times.
Yep. Crook of the elbow.
Yeah. You know what I like? When we used to go tip a shoe to tip a shoe.
Yep.
Hey, go see.
Had to.
Just a tip.
Just a tip. Especially on opening day, we would have been.
Oh, yep.
That would have been like a really exciting
Yeah.
handshake, foot shake. Mm-hmm. You remember when they did the?
Oh, yeah.
Go to the foot,
Yep.
not the. Those were wild times.
Yeah.
That was around the same time when we were around to look at each other. Was that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
People were getting it through the contacts.
Yeah.
And cardboard box.
Wear those goggles.
Oh,
Do you-
yeah.
oh.
Everybody was ordering everything. The shipping world, the buy online, arrive at your front door business just went insane. It all came in cardboard boxes, though. And then all of a sudden, one day, don't even think about the cardboard boxes. Let them sit outside and sterilize for 4 to 5 days. So now everybody just started having stacks outside.
Even getting groceries and just having to spray the bags down with like stuff that's probably going to kill you regardless later. It's like you got fresh fruit and you're just hitting it with like an aerosol. Like,
Hey,
Had
we
to.
survived.
That's right.
We made it.
We did.
Yeah.
We made it. That was a wild time. A lot of people passed away. That was not good.
No.
But we survived, and we lived through that time.
Rest
We
in
should
peace.
always remember that. Rest in peace, obviously. That was very. I came through like a Facebook post from
Yeah.
Italy. Just wait, is what the person from Italy said. We were covering it. We were live every single day. Every single day during this thing.
Front page news.
That was a wild time. We made it.
We made it.
It's opening day. We made it.
That's right.
Sweet 16. We made it.
Hell yeah.
Football stories. We made it.
Yeah.
Day after LeBron conversation. We made it. Out
Yeah.
new on the other side. We'll see you then.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings, South Dakota. Let's go!
College Game Day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not what we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's Let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right on the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Hayuken! Daniel Russo!
Wax on! Wax off! Knee to the face!
More serious.
Go! Go! Yes!
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life cut against that ball. Oklahoma State is the way here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave.
Kofi has the The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sweet 16 Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us. The Sweet 16 tips off this evening. We hope you are having a fantastic afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever the hell you're watching. But tonight, college basketball is back in the spotlight, and we think these games are going to be magnificent, magnetic, and magical. We'll be talking to Coach Seth Greenberg in about 10 minutes or so. BYU, Bama, Maryland with Derek Queen and Coach Willard for now and the boys, taking on a Florida team that a lot of people think could win the entire thing. Arizona, who just learned of Koa Pete's commitment to their program. Number 9 ranked player in the country. I don't know, I watch his highlights. I'm going to say this guy's top 5.
Yeah, okay.
4-time high school state champion, 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year, 3-time gold medalist, former USA Men's Basketball Man of the Year. Koa Pete committed to Arizona on the show earlier today. They're taking on Duke. And I'll tell you, this Duke team favored by 9.5. That's hard not to jump on. Watching the boys operate for the Blue Devils down there is something like, I don't think I've seen in a long time for a Duke team. Plus, they'll even have their shirts untucked every once in a while, okay, because they're like getting after it. Dogs across the board down there for the Duke Blue Devils. And what Cooper Flagg does, obviously, we'll talk more about it with Coach Greenberg, but like their entire team is loaded. And the head coach, after learning his story, it's like he's a dog as well. They just passed the torch there from Coach K to somebody who is doing it in his own way, and with a team that is kind of building their own era, but also continuing a tradition of greatness. That's been a fun storyline to follow. Much like how LeBron kind of worded it, enjoyed watching Duke. I love J.J. Redick. I liked him. I like watching J.J. Redick do his thing. But also wasn't really relatable with Duke. Like, it wasn't really. Then I go down to Duke for college game day, and I think, wow, this place is so nice. But I was looking around like, yeah, this probably isn't a place that I'm supposed to be at. But it was very, very nice. So I'm not complimenting or not saying anything bad about the school, but it wasn't a place like somebody like me would be a big fan. This team I find myself a massive fan of.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way they play, the way they operate, their story, like everything about it is fun to watch, and I think that's why people love them. And they're holding it down for the ACC as the rest of the ACC trying to figure it out in this new SEC world. So Duke is on tonight taking on Arizona, and then Arkansas and Coach Calipari, the Cinderella story of this particular tournament, take on Texas Tech, who's favored by 5.5. That thing tips off at 10:09.
Man.
At 9:39 one even.
Yeah, strap in.
Can't wait to watch Derek Queen and the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to do the thing. Talks Tip was here at Bruce Brown and at Ty Schmidt. Send your love to Boston Connor and Talk. Obviously traveled back home for a few days. They'll be back next week. Tonight's a big one. Let's go to one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone. Hammer. Dahn. Obviously, sports gambling show that comes out of this particular Thunderdome every single day that we're live. What are the big bets for the night? Are there any trends that we need to know about this particular Sweet 16 evening?
As coming out of the first round, the biggest trend was that there was, no Cinderella. Cinderella was not the only princess that got murdered this week in the Disney universe, but
Tony.
What?
He's been sitting. How?
Yeah,
he's been sitting on that.
Oh yeah, maybe all week.
Yeah,
I thought they murdered the dwarfs.
Well, first, I think that was kind of the thing that started it all. But I learned a lot about the people that were in that movie over the last couple of days. Have we all?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we have.
Crazy.
I did not know any of those people were in that movie, like before, like the lead. I did not know a lot about.
Now I do.
I know.
We do.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
Good luck, though, on the other side. I guess it did not.
It didn't do great.
The Dwarves, I'm not a big grow-up Disney movie guy.
Sure.
Didn't watch really any of them instead, like Mighty Ducks. I didn't watch any of the animated cartoon ones. Never got into them. I apologize. I'm doing it with my daughter now. Feels like they should have been movies that I maybe watch every once in a while. But I appreciate Sally and Tim being like, yeah, you don't have the attention span. You can get the fuck out of here. You don't have to watch yourself. I'm going through it all. But I think like the Dwarves were a part of it, weren't they kind of?
Oh, yeah. Massive.
In the title, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
And then obviously there was a decision made because people were offended. Well, a person was offended, but I assume representing numerous groups of people. And then there's other people in the same community that are like,
hey, I could get this job. There's not a whole lot of jobs out there usually.
And that's the interesting thing. And we're just sports people, okay, looking from the outside in. But if it makes it into my algorithm, probably means it's gotten really loud in your guys' world. Seemingly what happens in that world, more often than not, when it makes it into my algo, is just that the one side doesn't understand that the other side exists. Like that is like so when the one side is representing the other side, and it's like that's when things get real loud. Yeah. That's when things get real loud. And with that being said, I think the next movie they make around this one, the people that will potentially be playing the dwarves, if they were to redo this, you guys are in a good spot. You're needed.
Yeah.
You guys, leverage-wise.
Yes.
Big time.
Good. I think you got a good negotiation potential there. So... yeah, I learned a lot about that whole thing. That was a wild time. But didn't even think about it. Didn't know any of these people. And then all of a sudden, in a matter of like 3 days on the internet, I feel like I know a lot about a lot of people all of a sudden. It's like, good luck, Snow White. So she's with the animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
The animals. Correct. Snow White's with the So this will be remade again.
Wait.
I mean, this one's not doing great. But
you don't think they'll try to save the...
I mean, maybe, but I think...
You think they are. You think Snow White's dead and gone. Dead and gone.
I don't know about that. Maybe they reboot the animated one because the original Snow White, I think, came out in like 1939. Like, it's like...
Yeah, I heard that. 1937, I think.
It's like the oldest Disney movie.
That was a big part of it.
Yeah, so maybe they redo it and do the animated version. I think, something like this... what the hell are we doing?
All right.
What are we doing here?
So I think they're going to try to. They're going to have to. The animal one, like that is a huge, like just as somebody that lives with a lady who loves it. My daughter, I think, is going to love it. Yeah. Like the animal princess, they're going to.
Yeah, forest creatures.
They're going to have to figure that out. I can't wait for the next swing. Good luck in there.
Good luck.
Good luck indeed.
Good luck indeed.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time.
It is. It is.
I think time is the biggest healer of all wounds.
Sure.
I think that should certainly be something. What were you going to say, Bruce?
And that's why there are no Cinderellas left in the Sweet 16.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry for that
there's
time part of
no NIL and everything.
Yeah,
fucking
Prince,
what
there's no
what
more.
they did to Snow White. That's why we
I
can't
didn't see
have
that coming.
these good runs.
Yeah. Anyways, you were sitting on that for a while. Congratulations. Congratulations to you.
It just popped in my head. But against the spread, favorites were 28 and 24. So while they dominated on the money line against the spread, it wasn't. And this is the shortest spreads that I've seen in a Sweet 16 in a long time. Now the 9.5 for Arizona Duke is not super short. I mean, but it's not double digits. There is no double digit favorites in this entire Sweet 16 round. 9.5 is the biggest spread in both days. And those started at like 7.5 and were bet up because they like the teams. They obviously like Duke and the other teams. So I think they're going to be close games. It's just exciting. I think more dogs are going to win in this round, obviously, just because of how close the lines are. It's gonna be very, very exciting. And the under was also slightly ahead in the first round, 28 and 24 as well.
Tomorrow's at Lucas Oil Stadium?
Yes.
Okay, so that Purdue playing there is fascinating. 8.5. Purdue, a home game. Just something to think about. In a stadium.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
In a stadium, too. Like, the big ones I think about, like Michigan here in Indianapolis. Like, that's going to be a pretty big go-ahead.
Michigan, I don't
Atlanta
believe.
for Michigan.
Oh, okay, alternating. I'm
Kentucky,
sorry.
Tennessee, I believe, is in Indy as well.
Okay, so, but the 4.5, then how you like that? But a bigger spread, especially with, like that is that's an interesting line.
You kind of referenced it. The unders are always something to look for in those stadium games as well, just because the backdrop is so not what the players are used to shooting at.
I saw some people pissed off about it being in the stadium as opposed to being in Lucas or in Gamebridge.
If it's at Gamebridge, look for the first half under. It is tough to shoot in that barn when it's set up for basketball.
At the next,
that's compared to being at Gamebridge.
You're saying
Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
You're saying if it's at Lucas Oil, look for the unders.
At least first half until they adjust.
Yeah, because they get a shoot around. I think they get a shoot around, but that's nowhere near. I think we even have our suite there. So like, there's a suite that's going to be right.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting, just all of it in the depth behind it, how deep it is as opposed to what an arena is. It does always optically. It's like whenever they played, weren't they playing on a Air Force carrier?
Aircraft carrier.
They're playing on an aircraft.
Oh yeah, and they shot terribly.
The wind. It's not just the wind and like the movement that could happen because you're on water, but the visuals. It's like you can't.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like empty.
And if you guys remember the bubble was
guys are
basically
shooting.
in a small gym, high school gym, nothing behind it, and that's why those guys made every single 3-pointer they shot.
And maybe that's why every NBA guy that comes in here just
Yes.
For sure.
just snipes this place.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash included. Do people know that Steve Nash can just walk onto a court right now and just go 20 for 20? Does everybody know that?
I mean, I would assume so. It's kind of like
Even after I think he had some wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a little bit of wine.
Yeah. But it's like you always say with like, people who grow up in Indiana, like once you learn how to shoot, like you can get older and be like fat and out of shape and you'll still kind of always have that like form of a jump shot and be able to get one up. Like this guy did. I mean, he won 2 MVPs, he's a Hall of Famer.
Did you enjoy watching it? I mean,
it was awesome.
Me and Fox were on the other side of it.
It was
and
awesome.
As it was happening, me and Fox were like, this is kind of cool watching Steve Nash.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
He like let out a yell and then it just hit the rim and still went in. It was just the only first switch to hit the rim.
Yeah,
I mean, he for his career shot over 42% from three.
That's pretty darn good.
In game.
Played a
I
long
haven't
time.
shot in 11 years. He said, I don't know. No, seriously, I haven't. I play a lot of tennis, he said. A lot of tennis he plays. Soccer, he played in that TST.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying he doesn't play pickup.
Steve
He's
played
playing
at TST?
tennis. He played in TST. That means he's playing a little bit of soccer. I assume there's a pickup game happening somewhere around Steve Nash. But anyways, he told us he hadn't shot in a decade or so. That first one, I think it was 20 for 20.
Nothing but net.
That's
dude.
unbelievable.
It was insane.
I wonder what Braun would have done in here. He literally, I mean, in between things, he was so kind and so cool. Did not shoot in here, though. kind of didn't want to because what happened with Tyrese.
Sure.
You know, after Tyrese leaves here, we can't be. And how that first quarter or first half went for LeBron.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily as double with a game winner. That's just all that needs to be said.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what Steve Nash did, unbelievable. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who probably knows more about hoops than anybody else is talking on TV right now. College hoops, at least. Now, there's going to be college pundits that are obviously pissed off about me saying that.
Sure.
But with that being said, every time he's come on our particular program, he's seemingly been right and also explained exactly how things were going to go. I don't want to say he predicted chalk talk, but he certainly said the SEC is going to have a run here. This is the best conference he's ever seen. 7 of the teams in the Sweet 16 are from the Southeastern Conference, including the Florida team that he absolutely loves. They got by Dan Hurley and UConn, and obviously the refs helped them, if you ask Dan Hurley. But where do we lie now? Let's ask this man, ladies and gentlemen, from ESPN, Coach Seth Greenberg.
Yeah, Coach. What's up, boys? What's up, boys? I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a fun weekend. Forget about Cinderella. We got real games. We got big boy games. Put on your big boy pants because there's going to be no joke. There are no rocking chair games left in this tournament.
You're saying heavyweight matchup. We got big-time brands battling it out. That means we're going to have great games. We just went through the spread. There's no spread larger than 10. There's a lot of tight spreads through the entirety of this Sweet 16. What are some of the storylines that we need to be looking at? Derek Queen and Willard, allegedly, he's off to Villanova. Will that affect them? They're taking on your team, Florida. BYU, obviously. Great story that you chatted about that would be great in this entire thing. Duke, unbelievably dominant. Learning their story is cool. And Calipari is the Cinderella. What is the thing you're looking at tonight, Coach?
I think, the Florida-Maryland game, with everything that's going on in Maryland right now, with, obviously Kevin Willard potentially or probably going to Villanova, that's good. That's a storyline. But the game is the bigger storyline. I mean, Derek Queen, think about how they got to this point to the Sweet 16. Getting him the ball in the middle of the floor, a little step back right there. I mean, that's just a sick contested shot. Get your 6'11 guy the ball in the middle of the floor, have him put it on the floor with a kind of Dirk Nowitzki type step back. That was sick. It was absolutely criminal. The plays back to back, the skip pass for the 3, and then on the other hand, obviously this shot. Now, Kevin Willard, the play before, he had a foul to give. And didn't give a foul. But
a lot of questions from Coach Greenberg. A lot of questions there.
My head was percolating while I was watching that game.
Anyways, him going to Villanova. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. McNeese State with Coach Wade had something similar. How do you think the modern college experience for college hoops is either good or devastating for the situation that's going on in Maryland with Willard?
I would have said devastating, except they have 4 of their 5 guys are seniors and going to be at the door anyway. So he's going out the door with them. I mean, Derek Queen's going to be a one and done. Reese's eligibility's done. Shelton Miguel's eligibility's done. And so is Jacoby Gillespie. So, those guys just want to go win games. At this point, that's just what it's all about. McNeese got beat by a team that could pass and catch and make shots and attacked all that switching. Maryland, on the other hand, they got to deal with the most explosive team in the tournament. They got to deal with a team that's going to run Derek Queen up and down the floor, put him in ball screen the hell out of him, and make him defend and probably get him in foul trouble is my gut feeling. If I'm the Florida coaching staff, and obviously Todd Golden's done a great job, you make Queen defend every single possession. The matchup that's interesting to watch is Gillespie and Walter Clayton. That's a big-time matchup. 2 guys that can really play, 2 guys that came from mid-majors that are NBA players. So that's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, you love this Florida team coming in. You love the SEC as a whole. And we watched Florida take on UConn. I don't think we've gotten to ask you about Coach Dan Hurley afterwards and then the entire UConn response. But that game was awesome to watch. And because Florida was running early. I mean, they were running. It was 11-2 or something, I think, at the beginning. They were just wide open. And then watch them get the offensive rebounds and the way they operate. I guess it wasn't, but they were moving early. They looked very dominant against UConn. And then Dan Hurley and the boys come back. And then Florida ends up winning it at the end. That was a great college basketball game. But this Florida team was electrifying to watch. Has that been how they've been all year? And is that why you like them so much?
100%. I got a chance to watch them practice this winter, and you watch them practice the energy that they play, the pace they play with, the freedom they play with, the force they play with, the collective responsibility. Those dudes like each other. It's interesting. We go there for game day, and usually we go to practice during game day. And you watch practice, and practice is over, and players are out the door. You talk to the coaches, you talk to the assistant coaches. practice was over, every one of those kids came by and they wanted to talk. I mean, they're not spoiled by the situation. They're all being taken care of. I mean, they're all obviously excited about where they are and what they're accomplishing. But, whether it's Walter Clayton, who I think is going to be a lottery pick, he's sitting there and goes, Coach, appreciate you coming to practice. I'm having this conversation with him. Whether it's Denzel Aberdeen, who comes off the bench, and you only got like kind of the freshman that comes and plays, a local kid, a Florida kid. So they've got a good perspective on where they are, what they're doing, and UConn pushed them right to the limit. UConn's game plan was freaking phenomenal. It was absolutely ridiculous. Look, you can't turn it over down the stretch. You got to get free throw block out. You can't give up extra possessions. That's why I say special situations for basketball is free throw block out, coming out of timeouts, first play of the half, first play of the game. Those things you got to be good at if you're going to pull off an upset. And that was the difference in the game. But Florida answered the bell. I don't know about in football, but in basketball, to get to a championship game, you're going to play one of those games. When the game was on the line, Walter Clayton was an absolute monster. Those 2 threes he hit off the bounce and elevated and jumped up and knocked those shots down, they were sick.
Yeah, helps them get calloused a little bit, for the moment. A tight win like that against the reigning back-to-back national champions is good for a team's confidence. And let's talk about Duke, obviously representing the ACC, a team that you love, and you obviously have given massive credit to Coach Shire and Cooper Flagg. They're taking on Arizona. Arizona gets Koa Pete to commit to them today, early in our particular show. But what should we be looking for for this game? And Duke is dominant. I mean, they are a dominating basketball team.
They are dominating. Where they dominate the game, that is on the defensive end with their size, their length. They switch 1 through 5. So when they switch 1 through 5, they got a guy like Malawach. He can switch on a guard and stay off him and still contest the shot. They can put in a ball screen. They can trap, and those guys behind him are so connected. And then Tyrese Proctor shoots the ball the way he's shooting now, and the confidence that he's playing with to complement Kneppel, to complement, obviously, Cooper, to complement Malawach, to complement the guys coming off the bench. That's absolutely huge. They're playing with so much confidence, and it starts on the defensive end. I mean, their length. And they're going to get Malik Brown back, it looks like, the kid who's been hurt with the shoulder injury. And he's like a sick defender and a terrific passer and an experienced player. So they're adding some experience. They've been terrific in the tournament. Now, look, their path hasn't been as difficult maybe as others, but they've done what they needed to do. This Arizona team's good. And if Caleb Love goes off, Caleb Love, he's had games against Duke now. Coach K's senior night, I don't even remember it. Cameron Indoor, 22. Coach K's last game, NCAA tournament semifinals, 28. Caleb Love can happen and he can go off. And this is a much better Arizona team than they were when they played Duke early in the season. I mean, they started the season Arizona 4-5. Then they kind of got their stuff together. They're playing much better basketball. And Caleb Love is a tough matchup. But Duke, I think Arizona covers. I don't think it's going to be more than 9.5 points. I can't see it. Arizona's playing well enough to at least make it a game.
Okay, I like that news. Thank you for the intel on that. We will certainly heed your advice. And for BYU, Alabama, and Arkansas, Texas Tech, what should we be looking for?
Yeah, BYU, that game's going to be fun. That's going to be like an NBA game. I mean that game, I would lean to the over on that game. If I'm not a man of chance, but if I was using my cranium and looking at that game, the pace of the play.
I didn't know we were giving picks right now. I love that we are giving picks right now.
Love it.
I want to let you know that we are very Arizona.
I'm doing the best I can, you know what I mean, boys?
Yeah,
I'm making my way through life. Look, I'm talking on TV all day. I mean, if I can hang out with you guys and maybe get a couple of shots up like Nash. I wouldn't make my shots, but I'd give it a shot at least.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate
Nash is ridiculous.
Dude.
People think Steph Curry is the biggest recruiting mistake I made. I took my team at Long Beach State to play the junior national team, and the Canadian junior national team, and Steve was on that team. And we kicked the crap out of him. I mean, he would come and shoot with our team. He was 17 years old. I mean, we destroyed those dudes. And at the end of that series against the junior national, the dude wanted to come to Long Beach State. And I said, I don't know. I had my backcourt coming back. I mean, we just beat the crap out of them. Major mistake.
Yeah.
That was bigger than Pretty Woman mistake. You know what I mean? Like really big mistake.
Coach Greenberg, we got our backcourt coming back. Canadian white dude. We just beat the shit out of Steve probably remembers that, by the way.
Yeah. He did. Hey, he did. We were in the same region with him in the NCAA tournament. When he get to the podium, he goes, those guys in the other half of the draw, I wanted to go to Long Beach State. I said, thanks, Steve. I appreciate you helping my reputation.
Yeah, he remembers that forever. That's how those elite, dogs are. And you think about how athletic he was. I mean, just soccer, he could have went probably. We were talking to him literally the other day. He probably could have went in soccer. Basketball was obviously it. And then you listen to him on Tuesday, April 1st, Mind the Game with LeBron and Steve Nash is going to come out. We got a chance to listen to it a little bit. His IQ for basketball is just unbelievable.
It's crazy. But
he was explaining I don't want to give anything away. He was explaining I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
A thing he created. There was a move, there is a run that he created.
And Nash, keeping the dribble underneath and keeping your dribble alive to wait for the cutters to come and come around.
There it is. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and he explained it, and then he was explaining what he was looking at while he was doing that, and it was just
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like boom, boom, boom. He was literally like the Queen's Gambit on there. It was the brain, the mind is a crazy thing. Anyways, you fucked that one up, but what should we BYU Alabama? We're going over on that one. And then
you're going over on that. That'll be an interesting game. Now, Cal's game is interesting. The Arkansas game, you get to do Thero back. How much are you going to play him? He's a better matchup for Texas Tech because they have JT Toppin, and you might want to downsize against Texas Tech. I like this Arkansas team, and I'll tell you, they have had different guys. The last game, Billy Richmond and Carter Knox. I mean, Carter Knox leaves them in scoring. I mean, one day it's DJ Wagner, one day it's Jonas Adu. Texas Tech's ridiculously well coached. They're physical as hell. They can really have a lot of different guys that create matchup problems. But there's something about this run that Cal's on. It's one of those things. Cal to the Elite Eight, that would just totally mess people's minds up. And he has that kind of rare ability. Once you back him into a corner, he just kind of figures stuff out. They were 0-5 in the SEC.
Yeah, 0% chance to make the tournament. 0%. He talked about it.
And he'll let you know that, too.
Yeah, he did. That's how I know it. Yeah, that is literally how I know it. And they gave us 0%, Pat. And then he did the coffin thing, which is very real. They actually did that to his team first year over there. And the way it ended at Kentucky, too, this guy's lost it. He goes to Arkansas in the tough SEC. They're 0-5. They were coming for him, too. Him taking his team. And now he was wearing a shirt when he goes in there. He said he's celebrating and enjoying the moment with these guys, too. It feels like
100%.
And I think he has a 14-3 lifetime record in the Sweet 16. I think
it's insane.
I think that is his record in the Sweet 16. It's like some of these older coaches are older coaches for a reason. Yeah. Hey, these same people have been around. Yeah, because they're fucking good. That is, they don't get fired.
They know how to win games.
Yeah, exactly. And Calipari, 5.5 points. Okay. And he's got a Duke coming back. He talked about that the other day. Fascinating night. Okay, the boys have some questions for you. Coach, go ahead, Todd.
Let's do it.
Coach, we just heard Tom Izzo recently get pretty pissed about the question about, dealing with the transfer portal because it just opened while also, preparing your team for a Sweet 16 or a tournament game. But I'm curious to get your take on this. With the current climate of college basketball, how difficult do you think that is for these coaches to prepare for a tournament game while they also know that there's a good chance that, 2 or 3 guys that they might rely on 4 minutes are already kind of looking at where they might be going in the portal next?
Yeah, it's brutal. By the way, great Yankee gear, by the way. The Yankees, it's only about one team. Absolutely love the Yankee gear.
Hell yeah.
Having said that, I'm 100% with Tom. And here's the portal's open 12 months a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. All right? You saw the kid that's going to St. John's from Arizona State. I mean, the portal opened Monday. He committed Tuesday. The portal's open 7 days a week, 12 months a year, 24 hours a day. Having said that, the day of Selection Sunday to the end of the tournament should be a dead period. 100% should be a dead period. We have dead periods in the recruiting calendar throughout the year. Why would you put coaches and players and everyone else in a situation where you're getting ready to play the biggest game of your career as a player or as a coach? All right, you've had this unbelievable journey to get to this point. It's a Sweet 16, and Justin Pippen has put his name in the portal, and he plays for Michigan, and they're in the Sweet 16. Why would we be in that moment? It's so easy to say, you know what? Brackets come out, boom, dead period. The Wednesday after the championship game, it gets live again. And then we eliminate all of this conversation. It just makes common sense. You're putting players in a bad place. And then, like, even the coaches, like, you don't know who's in the portal and who's not in the portal because, like, these teams that are playing, you don't have those conversations after. But the agents are running recruiting. You don't even, the parents, yeah, but it's the agents that are totally running. Like, guys are in the portal and guys are talked about in terms of being shopped. They don't even know they're being shopped. These are agents, and they're not even agents. They're more the old school runners. Remember the old school runners, like you have a guy on campus and be working a guy? These guys
Basketball
are
had a lot of that.
legitimately, big. And these guys are legitimately making calls around, and they're setting the market. Now, here's what the coaches got to do. The coaches, one, if we got to fix that. The second thing is, like, they're throwing out $2 million like it's a $20 bill. Oh, yeah, my guy's worth $2 million. Some of these coaches got to call their bluffs. Say, you know, like, you want $2 million? Good. Let them go take $2 million. Because there's very few players. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Indiana, they spent a ton of money in the portal, didn't they?
Yes.
Ton of money. Well, did they play in the NCAA tournament?
No, but they will. You know, they had to spend all that money to get to this point to get DeVries.
Yep.
You know, to get the new coach.
That's fine. Look, I'm a big DeVries guy. But, I mean, like, if you go around the teams that spent all that money, they're not playing now. They're not playing now. I mean, look, K-State paid Coleman Hawkins $2 million. Not in the tournament. I can go through the list of all the guys that overspent, overpaid. Guy Great Osenberg went to Washington. Not in the tournament. Like, you got to get the right dudes. Like, if an agent is just trying to get the bottom line, and look, I understand their jobs, but to me, the coaches have got to say this is pro sports. Right?
Coach, we're having the same. It is pro sports, but in pro sports, at least there's a market and there's a calendar and a schedule and guidelines and a cap. In every, so that is the difference. And I think in football, we've had this conversation a lot about how there's going to be guardrails coming soon. We hope there's a ruling that has to be happening relatively soon.
July 1.
Okay, so it's been moved to July 1. So that ruling's coming. Then there's a salary cap. Then there's a rev share. And then there's a panel that has to approve every NIL deal to see. Yeah, so now there's allegedly going to be a market out there. But how can you tell what the market is? Because a market is whatever somebody's willing to pay you. I don't know how they figure that whole thing out, but I do think that there is a time coming for some guardrails. Let's get back to that transfer portal being in the middle of the tournament. That's actual ineptitude, right? Because the reason why they do these transfer portals is because they say the schooling system, they have to be able to transfer into the next school before the next semester. But football doesn't have their transfer portal, their spring one, until April. So that could easily have been moved till after the tournament because there's no school implications. Like it's happened during the college football playoff, where teams were in the college football playoff and some of their players felt obligated to get into the transfer portal because the portal opened in the middle of it and they thought they would miss the time. And we said, why don't you just move that till after the thing? They said, well, they have to be able to transfer in before the next semester starts. So schooling is kind of the thing. So then the answer is well, take that one out of the fall, keep the one in April whenever, the season's over, OTAs and spring's over. You guys should do the same thing. Why do these decisions get made up front? They should see the train wreck that is coming. You would think they should be able to do that. But we can correct it, I think. I think we can correct this shit. Don't you?
Well, we have to correct it. I mean, there's no answer to this is no brainer. I'll tell you why. Because the people that make the rules a lot of times aren't the coaches. The people that make the rules are, athletic advisors, presidents, and they're not living it. And so they can't look at it through a prism of what they're looking at bottom lines. They're looking at whatever. They're not looking at the prism of the actual full experience. I mean, to me, how the NCAA doesn't have people on board, and quite honestly, the NABC, who represents the coaches, has got to be more involved in this thing. The Football Coaches Association is very, very involved. Our association has got to be more involved and more powerful to have a voice that is heard and be basically a sounding board of the coaches.
You need to be in the room where it happens.
Get the right people on this committee.
Need to be in the room where it happens.
Hamilton. Here we go.
Bingo. I'm cultured, okay? Yeah. But if you're in a room where it happened, then you can obviously have say. If you're not in a room, you're waiting on what everybody else is saying.
Exactly.
And that's not just sports either. That goes in. We need the right people in the rooms. You know, we need the right people in the rooms, proper voices at least being represented, and hopefully we'll be able to figure that out in all stages. But college sports needs it to happen
100%.
quick. College sports needs to happen quick because there's a lot of shit that happened. COVID happened. Now we get an extra 2 free years. Guys were allowed to sit out 6 years. Now it's like, do we still have the 4 years of eligibility rule? That's being phased out. Now we get NIL. Now we got it's like everything needs quickly because it's continuing to go like this. And the product is.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, but the product is more like now than maybe ever. You know, you look at like college football. I assume college basketball is going to be the same thing. It's like, let's make sure we preserve this great thing that we have. I think we're all on the same page. AP Tone has a question for you about the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Coach. We talked to Coach Cal earlier this week, and he was saying how, you know, each weekend is a 4-team tournament. So with that being said, can you as a coach and a team carry over momentum from the first weekend, or is it just, hey, this is a reset where this is a brand new weekend? Or can Duke, who was just so dominant in the first weekend, can they just keep riding that wave?
Yeah, I think they can. I think momentum's a big thing, but you got to think all 16 teams have momentum because they survived their quad. But yeah, I think that look, let's face it. You want your team to be confident. You want them to play with confidence and poise and force and trust. And yeah, I think you win 2 games, especially like I look at Arkansas. You beat Bill Self and you beat Rick Pitino, you beat the number 2 seed and you're the 10 seed. Yeah, that's momentum. Duke, how they won, for sure. On the other hand, now Auburn has not played as well as we expected them to play. And they had some injuries at the end of that game. Like, I have some concerns about Auburn. Chad Baker-Mazara had that little hip pointer at the end of the game the other day. He couldn't finish out the game. How healthy is he going to be? They haven't played with the same confidence. They haven't been as dominating offensively and defensively. So I got a little bit of concerns for Auburn in that case, but they do have this guy, Tahad Bedford, and that dude is Kenny Anderson. That's a young Kenny Anderson. This left-hander right here, this dude is a little bit different. Little runner, shoots the 3, has no fear. Jersey City guy. I mean, he's dangerous. But like Auburn doesn't have the momentum, say that, and Arkansas has. They can regain it, or an Ole Miss has, and Chris has got his team play well. BYU has right now. Those teams have a lot of momentum going in because not only winning, but how they played. Like, you know, like winning is winning, but if you played really well, you're thinking like, I'm a swinger now. You trying to figure that one out, Pat?
Well, a swinger. There's a lot of different.
Like a big time. You know, like no.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah.
If I say something that goes over your head, I'm really struggling.
No, it went into my head, and there was just too much. There was too much going on. And I was like, whoa, okay. We didn't know. I didn't know enough about Coach Greenberg. I thought immediately there. Now I learned a lot. But you're right. Yes, you're right. 100%. Bruce has a question for you about the big swingers in this particular one.
Yeah, Coach. So some of the long shots remaining, I know you like Arkansas, but, you know, Michigan, Maryland. Which one of those do you think has the best chance, and who might be the most gettable 1 seed? I know Florida and Duke are kind of a cut above, but maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think Auburn's gettable, and I think Michigan's an interesting team. Now, you know, Michigan's got those 2 7-footers. And those 2 7-footers, they play post-to-post basketball. Danny Wolf is a freak. I mean, he's 6'11", and he's basically a point guard. He can handle it. He can shoot it. They run their offense through him. And Vladislav Golden is a load in the low block. So, like, those 2 guys are a problem. Now, it goes back to my conspiracy thing, you know. You got the Donaldson kid. He played at Auburn last year, so he understands what he's about to compete against. I think they match up well. The key things in that game will be they got to take care of the basketball. That's the big Achilles heel for Michigan. They turn it over about 19% of their possessions, a lot because the bigs are handling it all over the floor. And they got to rebound the basketball. But I like this matchup because style of play, Dusty May plays fast. He plays ahead of the defense. Those 2 guys create matchup problems. They've got enough depth, and they're also going to pull Janai Broome and make him defend. They don't have to double him because if Golden plays Broome man-to-man, then all those inside-out kickouts he gets are a problem because you're going to take that away. So now you can wall up and just force Broome to play over the top of you, which is a really big thing in terms of a matchup. Because if you double Broome, all of a sudden they go swing, they get the ball reversed, they're knocking down jumpers, and that's a problem. I Michigan for sure to cover this game.
That Wolf guy's got a Steve Nash.
He does.
I mean, that's what Steve Nash looked like in here. If you want to know what the shot looked like 20 straight times, that was exactly what it looked like. And not once did he just even crack or say anything. Just walked right to the next spot. Nope. No big deal. I think he clapped in his own partner's face.
He did.
Connor missed his first 2 shots, and then Steve claps in Connor's face, and Connor goes, "What are you doing?" Splash.
Nope.
Coaching. He's coaching. We appreciate you, man. We genuinely appreciate the time. And
this is a blast. I enjoy this.
You've been crushing it on TV, brother.
I'm faking my way through life. Just, stay down on those shot fakes.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Hey, Pat, I got a question. Steve Nash, one question for you. If someone laid it down right now at the 35-yard line, could you knock it right through?
Kick?
Yeah, kick. I mean, punting, kicking makes no difference. I mean, you're a pro.
For me? You're talking about me or Steve Nash?
No, you. Yeah, Steve Nash could probably do it too. I mean, a soccer guy.
Yeah. I mean, what's happening? Is there like a reason I'm doing it, or is it just happening for no reason?
No, it would have to be for money.
Money, death of a family member, something like that. Yeah, the ball is going. The ball is going to go through. Yeah. I think would like proper footing, but if I got to wear cowboy boots or something else, I could still try to make it happen. Especially if there's going to be a death of a family member. So, yeah, I think no problem there. I think
that's a made-for-charity event right there.
Yeah, the issue is the last time I kicked the ball.
Oh boy!
The ball exited the stadium and I ripped my hip flexor. That was at TST last year, the soccer tournament down in Cary, North Carolina. And I'll tell you what, I jogged off that field and I said, "That's why the fuck."
I think your gig right now is pretty good, though.
Great.
So I think you're in good shape.
How about this? Hey, who's going to win the national championship? You think?
The Gators.
If this goes in, you're right.
Oh, we're going to see this. We're going to see. I like this.
Sorry about it.
Todd Golden, not happy with you.
Okay, second one fell.
That was for Arkansas.
There we go.
That was for Cal.
Impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Seth Greenberg. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, no problem. He's at Gators.
Yep.
That was pretty quick, Gators.
Yeah.
I almost didn't hear what he said.
Gators.
I was like, I think he said Florida.
He's had some Gators.
I'm happy he said that. I haven't made one of those in a little bit. I don't know if you've seen out here, we got a new contraption set up on the court. This is Thunder Buckets. This is garbage can beer pong, basically, where you shoot with basketballs. But it's a full court shot, you see, and there is defense involved. It has really captivated the Thunderdome here in the last 24 hours. We played this at Pins Mechanical whenever we rented that place out for the first day of March Madness. That place was awesome.
Awesome.
That place was absolutely awesome. If you come through Indianapolis, I assume that'd be a great place for you to stop by.
Definitely.
If you have a big group, feels like the perfect place to go through. But they had like a version of this type of game. Then obviously we brought in here. This one's going to get aggressive, I think. I think there's going to be a lot of this.
Yeah, this is definitely going to take over the office. Everyone has different strategies. The best strategy, just shoot a jumper. Some guys like doing chest passes or runners. It's not working so far.
Yeah,
so.
you're embarrassing yourself and ruining the game
I
at
did
the
see
same
one
time.
runner. I didn't understand the runner.
Not one runner. He did it the entire game. Yeah, it was the only thing he did. And then he moved himself to the corner opposite the runner's side, too. So he was making it was almost like a hook shot at times with how he was doing.
We were originally playing where you're shooting from the free throw line, and we moved it back to basically LeBron settings where we're shooting from, basically the block right under the basket. And that's just to benefit you two fucking sharpshooters making your living on the outside. Me and D-Bone, we make our money on the inside. We like a nice little shorter shot, so we move it up to the free throw line. Maybe I could nail my jump shot right in there. We back it up there. It's righty runners all day, making it rain. Luka.
You got D-Bone outlet passing.
Oh, it is ridiculous. The outlet pass is a tough look.
Basketball is taking over kind of here,
Definitely.
I mean, this is the most, I think the basketball community has been incredibly kind. I mean, that was absurd, absolutely absurd. But not just him, like Tyrese as well, these coaches coming through, the players coming through. It's like, and at this moment, it's like the NBA game last night was awesome.
Yeah.
It's basketball season.
It is basketball season, and it's also baseball season.
Hell yeah. Yes, it is.
Ty, what time do these games start? And isn't this normally like everything gets delayed? How's the weather around the country?
That is the big thing, and that's why a lot of people bitch about opening day being this early because, the weather actually in New York today I think is pretty nice. Yankees are the first game at 3:05 Eastern, and then there's another Blue Jays and Orioles right after that, and I believe there are 9 games that go on between 4:05 and 4:15. But yeah, that was always the big thing is like you would have either like Chicago or the Yankees or the Mets or whoever, like you're playing in New York at the end of March. Sometimes you'd get like 25 to like 35 degree weather and snow on the ground. And it's like these guys just get done from playing in like Arizona and Florida for spring training, and they're kind of, acclimated to that. That's obviously what you're playing in most of the summer. And then you have to go up and like pitchers have to throw in 35 degree weather, so they're not throwing as hard. The overall product kind of suffers. But like today in New York, I believe it's like 52 degrees and sunny, which, doesn't typically happen.
And on that note, MLB weather report, Zito just pulled up. There's only 3 games that are in jeopardy of delays today. A lot of games, weather impact doubtful. New York, Toronto, Texas, Washington, Chicago, Houston, San Diego, Miami, LA, Seattle, and Arizona, all a go. Paul Skeens will be on the bump against Miami. Okay, they don't have any cold front that they had coming through during the college football playoff. Kansas City, Cincinnati, and St. Louis, potentially problematic. That's the Midwest, though. Easy come, easy go in these cities. That could be, and then it very much could be the complete opposite. Could be like great weather, and then likely delay or rain out, none. That's great news.
Love that.
Shout out to the weather. You've been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, big time.
Shout out to the weather on this particular opening day.
Shout out.
I would say, I just looked at all those, at least those potential rainouts or whatever, potential rain, they're all in the 60s. So, like, it's not like there's a lot of times where we're getting like 35 today. And it's real tough.
Guys wearing like sweatshirts and like fleece like underneath their, uniforms, which isn't typically conducive to playing a baseball game.
Yeah.
Stings.
In the hand.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Good luck to the baseball people.
Good luck. Good luck. Go get them.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a NCAA champion, a man who is a second lieutenant in the Air Force. And obviously, we all learned of his story last weekend whenever he beat Gable Steveson in what people are calling the biggest upset in NCAA history. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Air Force and Oklahoma State, second lieutenant Wyatt Hendrickson. What's up, boss?
How you guys doing today?
Great, buddy. How are you doing, brother? How's life as the champ?
Man, it's been awesome. I mean, Stillwater has just been so supportive. As soon as we got off the plane, the town was here to greet us. We were going to the softball games, they're going to baseball games. And, I mean, just having a town like this, it just shows how deep the legacy runs here at Oklahoma State. I mean, we've got fans from, the past 40, 50 years that have been supporters of Oklahoma State University. And, I mean, that's still running rich. And, I think Oklahoma State's on to, we're picking up something special again. Obviously, Magic Man's in town. This is just the first year, but we got high goals going forward.
Okay, I love to hear that. And every time I watch Matt Madness, I think about how electrifying the environment is. What was it like in the building there in Philly? And you guys were billed as the main event. You guys won on last, especially because of everything that Gable has accomplished. I think he's become must-watch television, whether it's because people are massive supporters or he has people that are pulling against him at this point because of how much success he has had. What was the day like leading up to, and what was the arena like as you were out there? What a moment for you and your family, obviously. Congratulations on it all.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and it's been a long time coming. I've been wrestling for 19 years, so having a moment like that, celebrating with my family, it was awesome. But leading up to that day, even during the tournament, I don't like watching the tournament. I like to kind of stay in the back and focus on myself. And I was zoned in that day, leading all the way from, the morning of until, 5 minutes before the match. I was ready. I was confident in my training. I was ready to go put on display, the hard work I've been putting in the last 6-7 months. Because you don't decide the day of the tournament that you want to be a national champion. Oh, yeah. You need to decide that months in advance, because that's going to guide your training. That's going to depend how you train, and it's going to show on the mat when you go compete. So, as soon as I walked out there, I have such good, I've done this a lot, so my tunnel vision was amazing. All I saw was that center mat. I didn't even see Gable was standing in the center with his arms open. He was kind of guarding the mat, like, hey, you're coming to Big Papa, you're taking on the champion. I was just so focused. I mean, he was saying stuff to me, but I didn't, I was just so zoned in. I wasn't listening to anything. So, the one moment I do remember it started to sink in was as soon as I got that takedown. I mean, you talk about feeling the environment. I could just, everything in my body was fully flexed. I was holding on to him. I could feel the place just erupting, but it wasn't over yet. There was still 20 seconds left in that match. So it was, probably one of the longest 20 seconds of my life, but I think it helped that I think Gable was a little bit stunned. He was almost, I'd even say, in disbelief that he just got taken down. I mean, you see him look up at his coach, look at the clock, and he's like, I didn't think this was going to happen. What do I do now? So, that was a really exciting match. But I also just want to say that Gable's still a great wrestler. He's obviously been in the sport for a long time. He's done so much for the great sport of wrestling, even bringing us an Olympic gold medal. And he's, multiple-time national champion. And he might still be in the game. So this is no time to let up. Obviously, just right before this, I was watching the show. It was up in the wrestling room while I was in there getting some work in. And, I'm just excited for what the future holds. So I'm not slowing down. I'm excited to go get, a gold medal of my own here when LA 2028 comes around.
Okay, so that is the question, because we know, we looked into it a little bit, and you might be able to correct us if our research is wrong. And congrats to that is so sweet to watch the family, especially with how grueling and hard wrestling is and the amount of commitment that takes for your entire life. You guys not only beat the shit out of your ears like we see, but your bodies and everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that is like, it's a grueling sport. It is very difficult. A lot of discipline, a lot of accountability, a lot of hard work. So watching your families go crazy after the win, it's part of the Madness magic. That entrance that you had there with that American flag coming out and then behind you with the fire. I mean, what a moment. You said you were zoned in, but that is a piece of content that I hope you and your family watch forever, because that is fucking filthy, to be honest. That is such a sweet entrance, and I like the fact that the Madness folks appreciate this part of the spectacle and make it a show. But that American flag obviously means a lot to you, not only because you're a great American, but also you're a second lieutenant in the Air Force. We think what we read was you had to transfer to Oklahoma State to continue your wrestling career because the military academies don't have graduate competitors in their sports. Is that accurate? And what is next for you? Do you have to go to Air Force? You said 2028 you're focusing on. What is next for somebody in your position? Because I don't think we fully understand it all. And thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yes, well, thank you very much for your guys' support. This is a kind of a unique program, I would say. But so yes, the academy only has it's a 4-year. There's no graduate program there. So about 20% of the graduating class actually goes to grad school because it's getting a master's is something that we need to obtain sometime along the line. But I was actually able to get in the WCAP program, which is the World Class Athlete program, of course, through the Air Force. And I brought up to their attention. I said, hey, I can maybe get some schooling done, and I could also use my last year of eligibility because I do have that because of the COVID year. And, they were on board with it. They supported me in that. And the WCAP program will last. I'm going to be in it for 4 years. So pretty much my main job is going to be representing the Air Force on the wrestling mat. So I'm really grateful to be in this position to where I get to, serve this great country while wrestling on the wrestling mat. But of course, after those 4 years, I'll still be able to go be in the Air Force for a minimum of 5. So my long-term goal has been to make the military a career. I love this country. I think the best thing for me to do to give back is to be serving. And we talk about running out with that American flag. I'm serving under that flag. I love this country. I got in the service for a reason. So I think, bringing that to the attention of everyone, I don't feel bad for that at all. I think some people are like, it's most common to see that when you're a world champ or Olympic champ, and I was a U23 world champion, so I've known what it felt like to carry that flag. And I think even though we're doing it in other countries and worlds, I was like, why don't we bring that back? Pat Glory did it a couple years ago. All the feedback on that was great, and I was like, hey.
You should not feel bad about it at all, brother. You should not feel. If you heard any negative feedback, you're A-okay with us. We're telling you how awesome it is. And the World Class Athlete program, obviously that's for the next 4 years. You're just going to be preparing for Olympics there. Is that goal in representing the Air Force in the Olympics and getting a gold medal for the Air Force in the Olympics? That'd be a big deal. That's mindset now.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously it feels great to, fly that flag here, but, LA 2028, that's also going to be here. So that'll be exciting. In that moment, I can only imagine comparing the clips years from now when I'm, in LA, and I got that American flag around my back once again, and it's just, that's the ultimate goal right now.
On that note, you had a couple people in the building for you, and, the alleged rumor is, maybe Commander-in-Chief wasn't supposed to stay the entire time and leave, but he heard you were at the end. He said, one of my guys is at the end. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, why? Did you know President Trump was going to be there? And was there any extra pressure knowing he was going to be there for that final match?
Yeah, I did actually hear that he would be coming to that, and that's obviously super exciting. And I think I've got enough grasp on the sport that I'm able to kind of take myself out of the situation and wrestle for myself, my family, and my team. So, if you asked me that 5 years ago, I would have been out there freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like my boss is watching me. But I was just really blessed to go out there and wrestle freely. So it was a pretty exciting moment when after that match I walked over there and I showed him my respects because, that's my boss, man. The Commander-in-Chief, President Trump, is just the fact that he was there supporting the great sport of wrestling is just an attribute to, how awesome of a sport this is, and it's growing. And I think a lot of people that originally wouldn't have watched the sport are now, maybe looking in a little bit like, oh, what's going on here? But one thing I didn't know that Elon Musk was there. So that was a surprise. As soon as I went back, I was shaking his hand. I'm like, what's up, Elon? Like, good to see you here too. So that kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so you had a post-match behind the scenes in a locker room convo with Elon and the president and everything, or did everything happen out in front of everybody?
Yeah, no, that was after the awards ceremony. Just right after the awards ceremony, we were able to go over there, get a quick picture, talk to him again for a brief second before we head to the back.
Good for you, man. You represent your country well, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Appreciate your service, both in the past and in the future, and right now representing for the Air Force. Good luck with everything, okay, bub?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And always remember, God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless the Cowboys. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wyatt Hendrickson. Yeah, Wyatt. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
What a breath of fresh air.
That's my boss over there.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, I was in the Air Force, second lieutenant, okay? We do the whole thing. And then the way it was...
oh, yeah.
All the ex-military people, they judge the shit out of people, That's a stolen valor. That's not a real fucking salute. No way. They started, that became a thing there for a while.
Big time.
People were just buying fake things are going around, getting exposed. He said minimum of 5 years after he'll be back in the Air Force.
But wants to make a career out of it.
Yeah. Let's go. Hey, there's heroes out there.
That's right.
I'm happy to wrestling. That's a sport where you need it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sport where you got to be tough. All right, we'll be back tomorrow here on ESPN covering what happened in the Sweet 16, and who knows who might stop by. You never know.
Nice little tease.
Oh.
We never know. But it should be okay. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Felt good about it.
Yeah.
College wrestling, college basketball,
Yep.
football,
Sure.
NBA, tennis. I mentioned it because Steve Nash.
Right. Yep.
Thunder buckets.
Baseball.
Yes.
Baseball.
Sports.
Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up everything else happening around the sports world. Sports are alive.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
We thought maybe sports were dead. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
There's always that somber moment. Oh, no, football's over. Now we got to act like now we're in it. It's like we're getting a chance to talk to the people that are in the thing here.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the shit out of that. And also, let's remember that sports are the greatest thing that have ever been created.
Hell yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5! 5! We're still bringing it.
I light every bridge I see here just to watch it burn. If you've seen all the hell I've seen, it make your stomach turn. I think you know why I do what I do when I do.
Started with 133 teams vying for one of these coveted 12 spots for this 12-team playoff, and it came down to 2 teams in the great state of Indiana kicking this entire thing off.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some
The best year of college football that it's ever had is about to have the greatest playoff it's ever had, and it all starts right here in front of Touchdown Jesus and his beautiful Irish people. And I think if you say, "Go Irish!" Hoosiers! They'll do that all night. If you make this kick, I will double his kick to $500,000. I will also donate $250,000 to a charity of Chris Daly's choosing. Yeah, let it go, man.
Oh, God.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Proud of you.
$750,000. The Lord is watching you. Man down. Man down.
That's all right.
$1 million. And there's a bunch of that have invaded. There's a lot of them.
We don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them.
Okay. Google here.
The one thing you didn't learn from me is talking all the shit you talk.
Welcome to the most electrifying atmosphere in all of sport. I know European soccer fans are wild. That's like 30 to 60,000. You're about to see all weekend 100,000 plus bananas atmosphere, and that is one part of the reason why college ball is so damn great. Why are the girls here?
Is this not a fun show? No. Serious show? Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
You know, he was trying to be funny, which I get it. And, you know, my daughter Kristen loves him, so that's kind of soothed the soul a little bit that somebody in our family likes the guy.
I choose to believe. In for a touchdown, Jesus and everybody looking down. IU gets a massive win over Notre Dame. Shane, I'm sorry.
You're a real scumbag. I thought Coach Cignetti coming out here was a real disgrace to the game. He left his players in the locker room to go get some camera time for himself. I know a legend like yourself would never do something like that. Would you?
No.
No, it's disgusting. I saw it. I thought, wow, what a sad, disgusting program. Notre Dame by a million. Go Irish.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own two. Jeremiah Love breaks free. Jeremiah Love trying to go 98. Touchdown!
Might be fiction for a blowout here, fellas.
Couldn't wait to get to the wonderful state of OH! OH! In the SEC, coming up to the Big Ten, when it's cold as hell, we shall settle the conversation here in beautiful Columbus. Coach, that hairline, you get a haircut every day?
Not every day. Not every day.
Big beard, big boot, Peters in tow, 500. Oh, this guy sucks. Holy hell, this guy's the worst we've ever seen. Just took out the Ohio State cheerleaders. $1 million here, JD level. Yep, this guy sucks at kicking butt. We appreciate the hell out of you,
Hey, Jay Hall.
He has once wiped 100 times.
What? What?
Yeah, 100 times. There are actually people out there, psychos obviously, that like the non-frosted Pop-Tarts. Gary's probably one of the best football players I've ever been around. Non-frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Now, I, at one point this year, was the mayor of Cocktown.
You were the mayor?
Mayor of Cocktown, yeah. They voted me in there, and this is my
How do you become the mayor of Cocktown?
You just got to go around and say, listen, I heart cock. I heart cocks. Sorry, numerous. Whenever we found out that there was going to be a college football playoff game in Columbus, Ohio, we were all jacked up to see this Ohio State faithful be showcased to the entire world about how much they love football. Then we walked out here to this game day set this morning, and it was like, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Rocky Top, Rocky Top. Well, in that song, they say it's home. Home for me is the North, and the cold is going to be Dahn. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes representing for the Big Ten.
How cool was Sean Perkins, the Ohio State football team, for allowing us to hang out in their facility pretty much all day Saturday? They had 5 TVs set up, a bunch of recliners. Roosters supplied some phenomenal food.
Arctic temperatures, NJ Hawkins all toe warmers, various benefits out for these fucking influence. You can check up on about first quarter, fourth quarter. It's all we want, it's all we It is now.
Handoff on the count. Travion Henderson in the open field. Travion Henderson is scoring. Another ton for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Story of the game thus far as Chip Kelly is going mad dummy, bruh. All of Ohio's
Tennessee fan pour a chair near Morgan Wallen because they have no hope right now. Will Howard. 101. Check. Jeremiah Smith.
By and large, these games have absolutely stunk, Pat.
Peter Herbstreit raising an absolute hell.
A couple people up here with that smoky orange face paint on that are feeling like real assholes right now.
As we look to the exits, and the Volunteers fans are saying, get my ass back to the South. This one's over. Bounces it. Touchdown, Ohio State. Boys, that was wide ass open. He's got left-handed. 500 drones. Ones that we know about. This game's over, but we're still bringing it.
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sweet 16 Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! Are fantastic. We're lucky to talk about them. Sweet 16 tips off this evening. Major League Baseball starts its season officially today, even though they had a couple games in Japan a few weeks back. And the storylines are endless around the NFL. And we'll get to a couple of those that we haven't chatted about thus far today because it's been a lot of basketball. It's been a lot of college wrestling. It's been a lot of the toxic table being disappointed by their captain. That's at Bruce Brown and that's at Ty Schmidt. Derek Jeter was going to stop by the program today. He was told he was not allowed to, even though he wanted to. He made a personal call to say, I am so sorry about the confusion. Maybe sometime down the road. Did that jinx the New York Yankees for the season? Something like that could potentially affect baseball long-term at Ty Schmidt and Bruce Brown?
No, not at all, because you mentioned it. Jeets is a stand-up guy, and he said, you know what, I gotta call him and let him know, make this right. You know, he could have just been like, you know what, fuck these guys.
We have no relationship with them.
Exactly. I have never had Jeets on the show, have never really had any kind of communication with Jeets. He could have at 11:45, send, hey, one of his minions, tell him I'm not doing it. Period. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Pat, let him know, hey, this is out of my control. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
But he's being a teammate.
I'm a teammate. I'm the consummate teammate. I'm the captain. So I can't do it. I think that bodes well for the Yankees, if anything.
Oh, you think because he took his, if he would have came on the show, maybe not good.
No, I think that would have been great as well.
Okay.
I think when you're talking about Jeets, it's kind of a win-win, no-lose situation.
That's
okay.
correct.
All right, I like that. 3:05, the Yankees start the season officially. Good luck to your team this year because people are saying it's the Mets city now, right? You know what they're saying?
Yeah, they're wrong. The Mets added some rinky-dink bullshit. I think they're having a piece of pizza, a Empire State Building, a subway car, and something else race around the warning track.
I like that.
In the 7th inning stretch. That's the kind of shit that you'll never see at Yankee Stadium.
What are you talking about? What about the pierogi race out there in Pittsburgh?
Well, that's different. That's Americana.
You're talking about sauerkraut soul?
Yeah,
that's good American
That's
fun.
part of baseball.
What about the brats? Okay, what about the brats running?
All of that. That's part of baseball. That's Americana.
Yeah, but you guys said Mickey Mouse right there just because of it,
It's not something Big Brother would do, I would say.
Zito just told me in my ear, or somebody in the back, maybe Foxy. Foxy was like, hey, remind this toxic table that is slanted toward the pinstripes right now that all the baseball people on ESPN said the Yankees aren't going to make the playoffs.
Every single one of them.
Is that what they said? No,
Yes.
didn't I see the Yankees?
Jet Passon was saying they're not going to make
Mendoza
had them.
Jet Passon also said that last year, and the Yankees made the World Series. So, I mean, I don't know if that means anything. Jet's very skewed. Jet is a Yankee hater. That's fine. He's a Kansas City guy. He's a Royals fan at heart. And the Yankees have routinely just done a number on the Royals. But yes, Jess Mendoza. That was the best segment on Get Up in maybe the last 2 years.
What? Get Up has had a lot of great segments.
I know.
Okay?
Which is.
I just would like Greeny to know that is not a okay. Greeny's had a lot of good segments on there, but Mendoza was taking this back.
Oh, yeah. She was hitting those helmets so fucking hard with that. It was awesome.
Almost broke the table.
Schefter yeah, you can see the table. Schefter starts, I think, with because D-Wood wasn't in studio,
right.
So they had to do
toy hammer.
D-Wood. I think it was an actual hits. The little baseball helmet thing fought back, like didn't break.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mr. Passon, same thing. And then Mendoza comes in with this bat, and she was boom! I mean, rattling the table. The helmets were exploding. First time I saw no.
Oh, yeah. She's a dog.
Love that.
Yeah.
They need to institute that going forward. Mm-hmm. If you get an eye problem when you're smashing football helmets, charge it to the game.
Exactly.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who had a front row seat to that. And a man that Ty Schmidt says is a New York Yankees hater.
He is.
Senior insider for the MLB for ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Passon.
Baby Jet!
Jet, how you doing?
Gentlemen, Ty, why are you being such a bitch?
I'm not, Jet.
Honestly, you are just so soft. So incredibly soft.
No, Jet, what I was doing is saying, hey, mister, I know everything about baseball. And the Yankees aren't going to make the playoffs last year. You said it. You came on our show and said it. They went to the World Series. So I'm just saying, hey, everything that comes out of Jet's mouth isn't gospel. That's all I'm saying.
That's correct. By the way, I'm not going to see anyone hit anything harder today than Jess Mendoza did those helmets. Bro, it was unbelievable in person. Like, one of the producers came over after that segment and said there was shrapnel 30 feet away. Yeah. Like, it was all over the studio. And the first, it was embarrassing. I had hit one with a hammer.
Bad.
Like, didn't hit it.
Talk about
didn't
being
go
a
great.
bitch.
You know what?
Yeah.
Touche. I got nothing on that. But seriously, it was, and I was worried too, because like those little helmets, you see them explode. These were they were like the ones that you put ice cream in at the ballpark, and we weren't sure if they were going to work. And Jess just
here it is. We actually have the clip here now. We're going to run it. And you saw the tail end of her exploding something. What you didn't see is Jet and Shefty not be able to break one of these with a hammer. And then she saw that. I think it was never going to be me. That is not how this is going to go. And she was taking this boom. I mean, these things were exploding.
Do you see how far back I am there? Like, I was hiding because I was worried I was going to get one to the jugular.
Yeah, but then she brought you back up and you said, I trust you. I trust you. It was like, it's not her you're trusting here. It's the bat and physics that you need to be trusted.
That's exactly right. And let's not forget, she's an Olympian. So, there's barrel control there. There's skills. She knows what she's doing.
It was awesome. And I'm appreciative of her laying it in. You know, there was no half-ass in that.
No.
It was a full-on. Yeah, that was awesome.
She let it eat. That was a great opening day performance. I was appreciative of what she did there.
Let's talk about opening day really quickly here. We know you're probably very busy, so thank you for taking a cold call here. Only 3 of these games, Kansas City being one of them, have any weather delay type implications. Everything else is a go. This feels like one of the cleanest opening days we've had in a few years. And what are some of the storylines you think that we need to be paying attention to? Obviously, Paul Skeens starts the World Series trek for the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Miami Marlins today. Anything else we need to pay attention to?
It's not just Paul Skeens starting the Pirates, but it's who he's going up against. Sandy Alcantara, former Cy Young winner, coming back off of Tommy John surgery. It's going to be the best starting pitching matchup today. I'm at Yankee Stadium. I am genuinely curious, guys, to see what the Yankees are this year.
Me too.
And Ty, for real, do you think they're going to be good? Are you on this team?
No. I mean, Jet, I would agree with you because it's weird because their bullpen is kind of the strength, but I don't know if their offense is good enough. I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough runs where it matters. And also, the starting pitching is a huge question mark now with Cole going down and Luis Gil being out for as long as he's going to be out. So I'm interested to see how it shakes out.
Not just pinstripes, there are question marks too, aren't there?
No, but it's the Yankees. It's the Yankees. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't know if they'll win the division.
Here's the truth, guys. Ty, at the end of the day, is probably right here. The American League is so wide open. 13 teams are contending in the AL this year. At least believe they have like some form of contention going on. And when you've got that in this band of teams that's going to end up with somewhere between like 83 and 87 wins, it's going to be a coin flip. And so I'm not suggesting like the Yankees are going to be garbage this year. No, they're not. It's just after the Cole injury, after the Stanton injury, after the heel injury, after all these injuries that they're dealing with, it can be tough to come back from that. And so they have to do what they did last year when Garrett Cole missed the first few months of the season. And doing so without quite the same starting pitching, that's where I think it could be problematic.
Okay, and riddle me this, and I know Ty and Bruce are going to have questions, and same with Tone, about everything happening today. Giancarlo Stanton's too strong? Is that what I'm hearing? Giancarlo Stanton's too jacked? I just learned the other day from Yankees fans, they tell him not even to run full speed whenever he's running the bases because they don't want him to get injured. And like his hands, I guess, and his arms are too jacked right now. He's too strong. What is the Giancarlo? Because with the loss of old buddy going to the Mets. Soto, right? That's a big deal, especially with Aaron Judge and everything that happens in the end. Giancarlo's going to have to be a guy for you guys, right, at some point?
I mean, at some point, but they have no idea if he's going to be able to play or when he's going to come back or anything like that.
Oh, no. Question marks all over the place for the pinstripe.
It's not. Look, it's not great. And that's what the Dodgers have. And I hate to bring up the Dodgers here because everybody hates the Dodgers now.
I love the Dodgers. I love Shohei. I like his dog. I like the rest of the team. I like everything. I like everything about them. Babe Ruth. Next Babe Ruth.
The reason that people hate the Dodgers is because they have these stars. In truth, one of the reasons if you're going to hate the Dodgers is because they have so much depth. That's what makes them dangerous, that they can lose guys. And after they lose guys, they just have another guy to come in and plug right into that.
They paid more money, though, didn't they? Didn't they pay more money than everybody, the Dodgers? They're more invested. Is that an accurate take or no?
Yeah, I mean, they have the highest payroll in baseball this year, absolutely. So they're going to be spending $500 million on salaries. And, some of that's going to be deferred, but they have to pay a majority of that deferred money into an account right now. So the deferrals are not really the thing. It is the total payroll, Pat. And yeah, their payroll is higher than everyone's, but the Mets are going to be there. The Yankees are a $300 million team. The Phillies, the Cubs, they're teams that spend a lot of money still. And so the idea that the Dodgers are alone there, no, they're just the ones who are highest right now. And that's why I think so many people are having a hard time with the idea that there's no salary cap in baseball right now. Whereas to suggest a salary cap would solve these problems, that's where I'm not on board.
What was the big story going in the playoffs? Was it Cleveland or Detroit? I don't remember. Was it
both?
Both. Cleveland and Detroit didn't spend a lot of money, right, going into the playoffs. That was the ordeal. And as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, you see something like that, you kind of get hopeful. Now it didn't end up making in the end. The Dodgers beat the Yankees. That is the biggest money spend and everything like that. But a team like the Pirates, or a team that isn't able to spend that amount of money because of ownership, or choose not to spend that amount of money for ownership, do they have a shot at this thing this year? What team are the Pirates? The team that could potentially be paid, I guess, and make a run? No, okay.
Say it, Jet.
All right.
Say it. The pitching staff's the best in the league.
If Jared Jones were healthy, I would be a lot more on board with this. He has 6 weeks for now, but then he's got to build back up, and it's going to be a while before he throws a baseball or a competitive pitch for the Pirates
again. What about Bubba Chandler?
But hell yeah, they got Bubba Chandler. I love Bubba Chandler, man.
I knew that.
Bubba Chandler's my National League Rookie of the Year pick. I think he's
back-to-back
years. I think he is a dude, and him and Skeens together. And if Jones stays healthy with Mitch Keller, they got the pitching, Pat. But I'm sorry, I just don't see the lineup being enough. And that's where the Pirates have been for so long now, and it's why it's so frustrating if you're a Pirates fan. It's been kind of stunning to me to see. No, I'm serious. To see some of the Pirates fans. I mentioned a couple days ago. I was asked about salary cap, and Pirates fans have been the loudest in favor of a salary cap. And I'm just wondering, with Pirates fans, at what point are you going to look at your owner and ask him why he's not spending, rather than give him the gift that a salary cap would be to Major League Baseball ownership.
So Pittsburgh Pirates fans have already asked that question for years, and now they're at the point where this guy's never going to change or sell the team. So we need to somehow figure out how to make this. We need people to come down to us.
We're MacGyvering it.
Yeah, we're trying to. That they've given up hope because Seven Springs didn't even have its best winner whenever he decided to sell it. So the amount of money this guy has is just nowhere near what the Dodgers guy is willing to spend. And definitely not as much as Cohen's willing to spend up there. And then the Steinbrenner family always going to pay. And it's like Paul Skeens is the reason why Pirates fans are so hopeful. And I think Paul, and I don't want to speak for him because obviously I don't, but like the things he's saying, he wore the
Skull and Bones, his crossbow.
Jolly Roger, like the Jolly Roger Pirates tie today. He's shouting out the city of Pittsburgh today. It's like, Pittsburgh, let's go. Like,
he gets it.
He wants to, I think he's trying to put pressure on ownership to be like, hey, let's take advantage of what we have here. Like, I think he is publicly trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Like, I would like to win as well. Let's do this. And maybe ownership listens because this guy is once in a generation type talent.
Pat, here's the thing about Paul Skeens that I don't understand what the Pirates are doing. We saw with Garrett Cole, and we've seen so many other times that if they feel like they're not going to be able to re-sign someone, they're going to trade, right? Like, that's just what they do. Other organizations do that too. The Rays do that. The Brewers do that. It's not like an uncommon thing among small market teams. But if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates and you know you have Paul Skeens for at least 3 years, which is around the point at which guys like that typically get traded, aren't you doing everything you can to win over these next 3 years? So maybe, just maybe, you can convince him to want to stick around and sign a long-term deal. It's the only shot you got at doing that. And to not try and maximize those Paul Skeens years when he is very likely to be the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, I just don't. That's the part that bothers me the most about the way the Pirates operate. I think you're right, and it's a sad state of affairs in Major League Baseball when the team that has the guy who's one of the biggest stars in the game and is the biggest star on the mound doesn't care enough to go out and win. That is a damning indictment on the sport, and something that, frankly, if the owner is not willing to do that, then the owner should change. And truth is, Pat, I'm not just saying that because I believe it. There are other owners in Major League Baseball who want to get rid of the bad owners too. And I'll be very curious to see over the next couple of years, as the collective bargaining agreement comes around and the landscape in baseball changes, whether those owners are willing to say that sort of thing out loud publicly, because ownership is so imperative in sports. We see it in football, we see it in basketball, we see it in baseball, we see it everywhere. If you get good owners in sport, that sport is going to benefit greatly because of it.
Yes, I concur completely. In a city like Pittsburgh, who could be a great baseball melting pot, loses out on generations of fans because of it. It's like putting out a bad quality product is not good for, obviously, your team. Now, the bottom line, you're still making money because I think that's how a lot of the contracts work. But for the good of the sport and for the league as a whole, not good. And it's like the Pittsburgh Pirate P hat is like the most famous one outside of the Yankee one. The P is everywhere, and it's like the Pirates haven't been shit, really in the conversation of it all. I like the Jet said that. Hey, Jet, we appreciate you, brother.
Thank you,
Jet. We
Jet.
appreciate the hell out of you, brother.
Going to Monument Park? Where are you going?
Yeah, are you?
He's in the bowels right now.
He can't hear
Deep in the bowels.
I'm getting back into the right Wi-Fi zone.
No, it's all right. Enjoy the hell out of your opening day, brother. What?
Thank you, boys.
No
Good
problem.
talking
You're
to
the man.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Passon.
Jet.
I wonder if he was catching up to what I said before that. Like if the...
He went super fast.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, that was... that's the technology, a little bit of a glitch. He just did a full cooking there.
Yeah,
he did.
Of old buddy who owns
the
the
issue
Pirates.
is? Goddamn ballpark's too beautiful. So people still go to it.
It really is.
And the colors and the uniform. And
If it was a shit ballpark and a shit team and nobody went, then maybe some change, but nope. Crowd still comes.
Which is basically what happened with the A's.
Yeah, because it was
like
a shit
they
ballpark.
played in a shithole. Their team sucked, and they didn't spend anything, and they got what they wanted all along, which was basically for him to move the team to Vegas. But like it is, like I think it just came out like the top 30 ballparks in the MLB as voted by I want to say like fans and players or something, and the Pirates are in the top 5 in like every single one. So it's Same.
And Zambelli Fireworks.
Yeah, Zambelli. Yep.
And it's something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get cheap tickets in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that place with the views, with the experience, with the event, and no expectations of a win. That was the thing. Like, whenever we would go to a Pirate game, even the most diehard Yinzers, like, they're not showing up thinking Pirates are going to win here.
We're
like,
having a good time.
We're having a good time. And if the Pirates win, we'll enjoy the Zambelli Fireworks with a dub. But if they lose, we're enjoying the Zambelli Fireworks after this game anyway. So it's like, it's almost like a full culture of, like, we'll see with the Pirates. Then a Paul Skeens gets in there, and I think you see, like, a lot of Pittsburgh people be like, hey, we got a guy now.
Yeah.
And I think they want it. And it sounds like Jeff is talking about other ownership wanting it. And Jeff going that hard at it, it feels like this is a real convo that has potentially taken place. Maybe we get new ownership in Pittsburgh, Nick. Maybe that is something that happens.
Fat chance, Pat. Those are pipe dreams. That'll never happen. You know as well as anybody, this guy's making money hand over fist. He's got no incentive to sell. He's got no reason to sell. Why would he sell? We had great players in the past. We had Kutch come through and win an NL MVP, 10 years ago?
Yep.
And they still didn't spend the money. They didn't invest. To your point, such a beautiful ballpark. People go, imagine going expecting to win.
That'd be
that
cool.
place would be filled every night. You're still making money, a lot of money.
More money.
Yes.
You're making more money.
I don't understand it.
Those tickets can get more expensive.
Well,
and you make more money, buddy. So if you're money driven, having a winner is how you get more money. That is just
like all the hype around Skeens. Like, I don't know what it is, but I would imagine like they're probably selling out every game that he's starting.
Oh, yeah.
And I would imagine that the ticket prices for those games compared to like some of the games in the past are probably like 10x. You know, like it's not.
He did that here for the Indianapolis Indians.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And he was here. Literally, tickets were 10x the price of what they were whenever he was pitching. People were just filing in onto the hill to kind of watch it. He is awesome to watch.
Yep.
Like, he's a fun watch because he's got enough moxie to keep it entertaining. He's got enough talent for you to be like, holy hell. And it feels like even the batters, and he has like consummate respect.
Yeah.
He's like, he does everything like the perfect way almost. And it's
he's a big dog.
Hope he doesn't get wasted in Pittsburgh in that Pirates organization. Yeah. But it does feel like he's trying to apply a little public pressure.
Yeah, which is awesome. Because, like, why let yourself be kind of a tree falling in the woods where every 5 days you're just throwing an absolute gem and it's just like, oh, who cares? It's great that he's putting that public heat on it because it is a joke. And, like, what if the new CBA, then they institute a salary cap? Then what's your fucking excuse to not spend up to it, you know?
Yeah, unless they put a floor in there. And then what happens with all the record or all the salaries that have already been agreed
Good
to
question.
for like 10 years? I don't know.
Well, and that's what Jet implied, that he thinks there's a chance the owners would lock the players out because that would probably be a massive, like, whoa. Like, I signed a fucking 10-year deal with, worth X amount of money, and now all that stuff needs to get renegotiated or however it gets,
distributed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, we had that happen where old CBA, the first 5 picks were making more money than 15-year vets. Like, that's what they were signing for. Then negotiation comes, and that gets cut into like 1/6 of it all. And it was like, wow, sucks for this group. But the class that literally got drafted the year before, like, they were the last one that got like broken off, And it's like potentially something for baseball is going to happen the same way. That is a tough deal to get done, though. Yeah. Anytime you're taking away money from people, especially professional athletes, there's going to be a lot of parties that are not happy about it. Agents, players, lawyers. Not saying agents and lawyers aren't the same, but not always. And then, the history of the game, the future of the game, next generation of the game, like, that gets real soiled.
Yeah.
That gets real dirty.
Because they had massive issues trying to, like, come to an agreement for the COVID shortened season. Because they wanted players to take like a third of what their salary was supposed to be over the year, and like all the players were like, "Fuck that! Like, I'm not doing that. No way! Like, I still have a chance to get hurt and everything." And like that season almost didn't get played because of how dirty it got.
But it was good for the league, I think, to have that season.
Without a doubt.
Like, that's the thing.
They played 60 or whatever.
I hope they all get it 62 or something. I forget what it was. An interesting number. Still a lot of games. So many games. The league has moments.
For sure.
And with Shohei and Paul.
Playoff baseball still, like, if Skeens could get there, like, it's
incredible.
It's right up there with, like other sports playoffs.
Can have those moments.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do. This is the year. Good luck, baseball.
Here we go.
Congratulations to J.J. Watt. He's now the number 2 booth at CBS.
Hell yeah, Jay.
Go, Jage.
Danielson retires now. J.J. Watt will be alongside Ian Eagle. And obviously the Ian Eagle family is obviously synonymous with calling games in a great way. I think he's a talented broadcaster. I think J.J. Watt will do very well at this. I think he got a chance to try it with Netflix, on Christmas Day whenever he was talking about the Steelers game. This has been a dream, I believe, of his. There's some athletes, some players that get into the media world who really want to call games. And I think the reason why they want to call games is because when they watch games back that they played in, they thought there was a lot of things that were potentially missing, not only for them, but for their teammates. That's why whenever you see Greg Olsen get in there, he calls the game his way. Tom Brady calls the game his way. Troy Aikman calls the game his way. Collinsworth calls the game his way. I'm excited to see what angle J.J. Watt takes. Obviously, you have to cover the quarterback. You have to cover the prime positions that are taking place. But what does he see that maybe nobody else will see? Coming from a Hall of Famer's perspective, he wants to do it. I think this has been a dream of his. And him getting the opportunity to do it, we're incredibly pumped and proud of him. I think he's going to be great on CBS.
Yeah, I would assume so. And not having the pressure of, not that they're not going to still get great games, but like that's what always happened with Tom this last year and Romo. You immediately get that game where everyone's watching. So like, not that people aren't still going to nitpick and take shots at him regardless, but it's not the marquee game every single week where people are just like, because it's different, like, I don't like this guy. Like, this is different than what it's been the last 10 years or so. Like, I don't enjoy this. And hopefully he doesn't run into any of that.
So is he calling all the games here?
Yeah, I believe he's their number 2 team because Gary Danielson's retiring. It was him and Vern. And I think Charles Davis is going to where Gary was. And I think JJ's taking Charles Davis's spot in the NFL, if I'm correct.
You better hold that football. So that's a lot of travel now for the boy.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Because he was doing CBS like, I don't know, what did it end up being? Probably like 8 weeks in?
Yeah, like a couple weeks on, couple weeks off.
9 weekend appearances. Then had the Super Bowl. So obviously he also has Burnley and he has many other business ventures and everything that he's a part of. Obviously family growing and all that type of stuff. So this is a lot. I'll be excited to see his thoughts on his schedule, and is he going to go out for practices on Friday, and then we got meetings on Saturday, then game on Sunday, then flying back on Sunday night? I think that is kind of the convo around the commentary teams is like it's a lot of commitment, a lot of travel, a lot of staying in other cities. You're back basically in the football grind.
Yeah.
You got meetings during the week, you got film during the week, then you got travel, you got practice, then you got your meetings again in person, then you have obviously production meeting, then you have pre-meeting, then it's showtime. It's like I'll be excited to see how he handles all that because I think Al Michaels does Zooms now instead of traveling to but he's been doing it for 50 years or whatever it is. So I'll be excited to see how they approach it all.
Yeah, and Tom had all the stuff with like can he go to these meetings? Can he be in these other facilities? So he could kind of skirt around it already. You'd assume that, I would assume they want JJ there with it being his first year, being like, hey, you got to come to everything, every production meeting. Like we need you kind of on the same page as Ian every single week. So yeah, that will be, because that's what, a 4-day work week, boom, instantly for one game.
I think he's going to do good. You think he's going to be good?
Yeah, I liked him on Christmas.
Were you guys just questioning if JJ loves the grind? How dare you? He's going to be there at every meeting, taking notes, listening to his Fort Minor, just enjoying the hell out of life and the process.
We know. It's a lot of time on the road.
Especially when you've been out of it for a couple years.
Especially if those Burnley boys are back in the Premier League.
Are they going to be?
They're going to be close. They're probably going to be in the playoff right now, which is electrifying.
Okay, so they're going to make it into the play. When does the playoff start over there for that league?
Ooh, great question.
How's CONCAFA Pod doing?
Be coming out tomorrow morning.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Hell yeah.
Hope you guys addressed what's going on with USMNT.
Oh, Jeff Cameron is fucking pissed.
Okay, Jeff Cameron, former men's national team member. He also played in the Premier League. He's also a part of CONCAFA Soccer Club. He's one of the hosts of the CONCAFA Pod alongside Breck Shea and Old Gumpy back there. It is our soccer authority. It is where we go to learn about what's going on in the soccer world. If they don't talk about it, we don't know about it. If they talk about it, we assume we're supposed to know about it. If they talk about something we're not interested in, we do tell them. We have told them.
Yeah.
I hope they're calling for the coach's job on the next episode.
Poch?
I'm already there.
You don't need a new gaffer.
The World Cup is on our turf.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We need to figure it out.
You need some boys that are willing to fight out there.
What happened? We lost to Canada, I heard?
You lost to Panama and Canada.
Yeah.
Boys don't care about the crest on their chest. They're too worried about the names on their fucking back.
Well, I thought that's what this guy was about. I thought this guy was all about, hey.
He just got here. He'll get a turnaround.
Okay, so we are saying he hasn't put his culture in yet. He's just getting a chance to experience the previous culture. And what's happening now is we're losing to Panama and Canada.
Yes.
Never again.
We got to get Gio Reyna's just got to get his legs back underneath him. For some reason, his conditioning isn't where it needs to be, so he's been out.
He does not play anywhere he goes anymore. It is an issue.
Why doesn't he play? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Maybe he's just not that good.
What do you mean he's not that good? I seen him play. He's good.
I think what has happened here is the media has labeled these guys as the golden generation, and I fear that besides Pulisic, they might not be.
What? The goalie's really good.
The goalie is Matt Turner has been shite because he went to England and he's not playing anymore either.
Yeah.
So what's happened is these guys that are playing on these MLS teams, when they play, Diego Luna played the other night, probably the best player on the pitch, but these guys are going to Europe and they're not playing. So yes, they got the move to Europe, but they're not playing.
This is a chess play by Europe. They saw us getting good.
Yep.
And then now they sign her. You American, come and play. Congratulations. Not knowing that the MLS has the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? The MLS is the best league in the fucking world. And now all our guys still think it's 10 years ago before, once again, the best player in the world is playing in the MLS. So they think going to Europe's a big deal, which would have been. That is a huge deal. When Clint Dempsey goes over there, it was a massive ordeal. Tim Howard went over and played over there. It was a big deal. We got an American playing in the Premier League. This is huge. This is a massive ordeal. Christian Pulisic going over there and growing up through the system was a big deal. Now it's like, the MLS is the league.
Like those guys are starting like Tim Howard, Clint Dempsey start every game. Pulisic starts every game for AC Milan. Matt Turner's like third string on Arsenal. He's getting loaned out. He ain't doing shit.
Come back to MLS.
Like, start Zach.
Come play for the
Steffen in
Pittsburgh
net.
Riverhounds if you need to.
Bingo.
Hell yeah.
Let's get ready for what matters. The World Cup on our turf board.
I'm worried.
Me too.
Unless, Lionel Messi changes his name to Lou Messi and plays with us next World Cup, I don't think a fucking MLS All-Star team's going to win the World Cup.
So my worries are that he's never going to be Lou Messi.
He might.
What would he have to do? He'd have to get his name changed. He would have to go down to Staples Center, right, get a passport.
Correct.
And he's now an American.
He's an American.
We need him to take that citizen test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or we have someone from FC Miami or whatever the fuck their name is, and we have Inter Miami. We have them take the test for him.
Maybe.
Classic SAT situation.
Exactly.
Get him one of those
I'm Lou
gold
Messi.
cards.
Give me the test.
Inter Miami is basically Team Argentina and Spain at this point as well.
Exactly. We
Yes,
need all
we're
those
saying-
guys saying they're American.
I don't think we can keep his last name as Messi. That needs to be like Lou.
Lou Messino.
Yeah,
Messier.
and Busquets needs to immediately become Butch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Butch
Buckets.
Walk in there and say you're Lou Messi and just do two soccer moves. It's just one of those. Got to have the calf tat.
Yep.
The shin calf tat.
Pretty simple.
We do need those guys to play for the United States of America in the next World Cup.
There's time to figure it out. Gold Cup this summer. I think if that goes shite, then maybe you start judging Poch a bit. But I think just give him a little bit. I think Gold Cup they'll do well.
He doesn't speak the best English. What was he saying?
He's from Argentina.
Okay, so do our players speak English? Because I know whenever we had the German GAFA, they all spoke German.
Jürgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, do these guys speak English, or how's the communication between he and the players?
So Poch coached at Tottenham, took them to a Champions League, coached at PSG, speaks French as well. He's been everywhere.
Good luck out there. We need you.
He's called.
It's on our turf. And we have to qualify because it is.
Yes.
Already in, brother.
Yeah, we automatically qualify. But it's just making out of the group. We need a favorable group draw. Maybe you have Qatar in there still for no fucking reason.
Well, Qatar, because they hosted it, right?
Yes.
Is that how people talk about us?
No,
Probably.
not
No.
yet. Not yet. But
We're losing to fucking Panama.
I assume they do.
I think they're laughing.
What are you talking about? They have a canal.
No, we're gonna get our hopes up like
it's
we do
actually-
every single World Cup, and we're all gonna be hyped up, and then they're
not
gonna
doing
shit the bed, and then we're all gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
You're
just
not going to
happened?
cheer for America, Ty?
I'm not doing it.
I agree with what Foxy just said.
No, I'm not going to watch the World Cup. I'm going to put a moratorium on it. I'm not fucking doing it.
You're not going to watch the World Cup in the United States of America?
Nope.
It's going to be on our time, like prime time. Normally, we had to do the entire math. It was at a different time. It's set up for us to watch it now. It's on our grass.
I get it, but unless fucking Lou Messi leads the boys out, Lou Messino, excuse me, leads the boys out with a pencil thin mustache would Americanize him a little bit.
Maybe Musselman, Lou Musselman.
Lou Musselman. I like that. That's good.
Luigi Musselman.
Eric's son.
Luigi Musselman. Lou Musselman. Any of these names will work for Lionel Messi. Until we do that, I'm not going to let myself get to the point where I get excited for the World Cup and we go 1-2-1 and don't make it out of the group stage.
And we're going to say, we will decide whether or not this team should be representing our entire country or not.
Yes.
Because we do a lot of this is for America.
Right.
On this particular program.
Exactly.
And then we're losing to Canada with everything going on. Did that in hockey too.
We need Wyatt Hendrickson playing center back.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you.
Boom. And LeBron.
Yeah.
He could probably play goalie.
Bingo.
Big old mitts.
And then we need Prolific to play his best ball.
Oh, yeah. He will.
We need Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
He's Canadian.
Well, he's doing what Leo Messi's doing as well.
And he could keep his name as Steve Nash, which is huge.
Yeah, and the look.
Yeah.
He looks like.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He very much looks like standard American dad.
He does.
He lives in America.
Yeah.
So he's already got the mailing address.
He's actually probably, at this point, an American citizen, I would guess.
He probably took the test.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gump, have you been preparing for that test that's coming right around the corner?
Studying every night, brother.
No shot. That's a tough test.
Just watch Hamilton a couple times. You'll be fine.
Still got like 5 more years.
That's for one era.
7 more years.
No, I'm not. I was talking about Hamilton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hamilton is just one era, but you would learn a lot about it, And
Is it historically accurate?
I mean, for me, yeah,
the king was singing. You're right before the start of the revolution.
I mean, maybe with the way he was talking, the way they made him appear,
awesome.
He was electrifying.
Awesome character.
It wasn't great, obviously, but
I see it.
It's on Disney Plus if you want to watch it.
Hamilton is?
I believe so.
The original cast?
I think it's the original cast, or it's the whatever. Yeah, it had to have been. And then they filmed it to be a movie.
There he is. George?
What a time. I know they weren't supposed to babyface him, but whenever the king shows up, good heel presence.
Yes.
It is a good pop in there.
The guy from Mindhunter?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff. He kind of stole the show. He's a good actor.
The Broadway folks are wild. Like, very, very wild.
Talent.
Yeah, so much. Wife and I used to go to a bunch of those whenever we were traveling out to New York. And I just like watching people do their thing. Like people that practice, people that are prepared, people that have spent a lot of hours on something. I like watching them do their shit, whatever the shit is. Some shit I'm more into than other shit, but watching people have to perform and execute, in front of others with pressure on, I enjoy. Those Broadway people, they're doing like 3 shows a day, like 4 days straight, 5 days straight. They're singing, jumping, dancing, remembering, acting. I mean, I think the first one I saw was in the middle of like the talent show era or like the singing contest era. And I'm watching these people, I'm like, American Idol, this is going to be the next big star. And I go to this Broadway show, and there's 20 people that can sing just as good, and they're sprinting, jumping, running, dancing, and they got comedic timing.
Yes.
And I'm like, how come? Why don't they just do a talent show of everybody that's in these Broadway? But that's like, I think they're a more committed artist. Is the Broadway people like that? Is kind of the viewpoint of that whole thing. So much talent over there.
Oh yeah, big time.
Full commitment of their lives.
Well, that's what like a lot of these like big time actors like cut their teeth in the theater beforehand. I think like Bradley Cooper told us like when he was on that he was in London for like 7 years doing that one thing, but I bet he was doing a bunch of like whatever their I can't remember what their version of Broadway is, but like that's very popular as well. I think like a lot of the big time actors like Denzel is on Broadway right now with Jake Gyllenhaal. Like they're doing a show on Broadway, so it's like and that's
sharpen your tools. James Franco did of Mice and Men, similar deal. Walter White was LBJ in a play.
Book of Mormon introduced me to the whole thing.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah, it is. With the microphones here, too, like the way they get through, you really crushed that, Bruce. The microphones on their foreheads, that was a whole different ball game, too.
So,
have you ever seen that?
No.
So they like tape their mics like to their head almost. Like,
we should do that.
They do this, and it's like, it's an interesting thing. And I think it's because they have to change
the quick change, yeah.
So that shit just kind of goes through like their hair. It's like supposed to be a piece of their hair, like in their hair, and then every once in a while, some of them have it a little bit closer down here, and it's like, why do you all have something taped to your forehead? Why do you all have
something going on there?
There it is.
Oh,
there
it is. Yeah,
yeah, you see it. It's all in the
right on Lynn's dome.
Yeah, once again, probably on a few milligrams whenever I'm in there at these shows.
Sure.
Why they all
He's got a fucking bug on his forehead.
Everybody
the whole
got
show.
the same. And some of them a little bit looser than the others. You know, it kind of gets down there a little bit. This is obviously Hamilton, not Book of Mormon. That Book of Mormon one, I think, became $1 billion entity.
Oh, yeah.
Just traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Was that all accurate?
Pretty close.
Did it have them being absolute just...
You're talking about Primeval?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. I heard it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's good.
Gruesome.
Yes.
Jim Irsay's in it.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Steals the show.
Peter Berg creation.
That's right.
I bet you that's going to be amazing. I'm going to check it out. All right. Russ Wilson had a press conference with the New York Giants. Congrats to New York Giants. Felt professional.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't it? It felt professional. $10.5 million guaranteed, up to $21 million for incentives. A 1-year deal for Russell Wilson to be a member of the New York Giants. You know, he got his welcome to the city at Madison Square Garden. Very similar to what Aaron Rodgers had a few years back. All the Giants fans go crazy. Russell Wilson spins at his first completion as a Giant.
Nice.
Obviously at Madison Square Garden. He said, go Big Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I guess all Giants fans, and we all need to understand that is what we are rolling with or riding with if we should. Consider it a little bit better this season for the Giants. Win total goes from 3.5 to 5.5 though post press conference. How do you feel about that, Bruce Brown? And how did day one basically of Russell Wilson as your quarterback go?
It was amazing. You know, it was just welcoming Russ home. He looked right at home at MetLife Stadium, looked right at home at Madison Square Garden. The Go Big Blue, I don't know.
That's what you guys say.
I've never really heard much.
What if
of
it's
that.
the Go Big Blue Crew and you guys say Go BBC?
I like
That's sweet.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Can you say it, Bruce?
What if you guys say that?
Go Big Blue Crew.
Yeah, and then but for short,
Yeah, BBC.
Say it, Bruce.
Yeah,
Say
that's what you guys can
it,
do
Bruce.
over there. That's what you guys can do over there.
Yeah,
I mean, I
good.
guess we're in kind of a workshop stage of what the chant would be, but
Yeah.
Go Big Blue, man. That's what we're doing, and our win total's bumping just because of pictures, promos, pressers, and a throw at Madison Square Garden. We got to like that.
Yeah, you gotta love it. And I do think 5.5 is probably an appropriate number. Now you can probably think about that under.
He said 3.5 was appropriate yesterday.
Yeah, it was, but now it's 5.5, and you know,
they're giving me two. Okay.
No, I mean things are looking up. We have a professional quarterback that can read the defense and throw the ball down the field, and that'll be a nice
The internet
reprieve.
took a shot at your quarterback.
Whose?
They said this is a good sign. Danny Dimes would have shit his pants and checked it down to Sierra in the front row.
Okay. Everybody needs to relax. Danny Dimes is in open competition with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, he's more of a New York Rangers guy. They got mostly khakis and all that in attendance, and they don't do the ball throwing display.
Speaking of superstars, Russell Wilson and Sierra obviously took a photo together. There was rumors that New York was a desirable destination for Russ, Sierra, and their family a couple years back. He ends up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now he's with the New York Giants. Tone Diggs, obviously Russ brought some exciting times to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a good portion of the season. It did not end well. And then the other day you said, we do not want him back as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Why is that? And what did you say to New York Giants fans?
He did come in. He took the offense from 21st to 12th when he came in, when he took over for Fields. And those first 6 games, it was awesome. He was slinging it all around. And we had that Bengals game where he put up 45 points. And then ever since then, it was a bit of a downfall. Lost the last 5, obviously. I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know if he didn't get along with the locker room or what happened, or if he didn't get along with Arthur Smith. Those are the reports. But it didn't feel like the Steelers wanted him back because there was never a reported offer. It was reported that Russell wanted to go back to the Steelers. But I assume if he wanted to go back and if there was an offer, he would have taken it. So it just kind of fell to the Giants. It felt like at this point the Steelers want Aaron, or they are okay with Maystog and potentially drafting someone, but that's kind of like where we're at right now.
And the Aaron story is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, which is a Ghana name, Ghana heritage name, even though from
Cherry Hill, New
Jersey. Because whenever we see him speak, we go, this guy looks so young. Like, we forgot how young he looks. He spoke about, the entire quarterback room and his situation. In a way, a lot of people are reading into it is he didn't close the door on Aaron Rodgers. And he even alluded to, ideally, basically, J.J. McCarthy would be the starter. But no doors have been closed, although there has been a lot of alluding to JJ's time. Then also there's been a lot of chatter about Kevin O'Connell's relationship with Aaron Rodgers. And is Aaron Rodgers waiting to see if the Minnesota Vikings want to make a play for Aaron? Or is Aaron potentially contemplating not playing at all? Or what is he doing with the Pittsburgh Steelers? And is he just buying or waiting, trying to figure it all out and trying to see what's the best option for him? But I guess as the Vikings conversation remains, which it is still, there's people that say, I don't think so. Whenever they read some of the quotes or hear some of the quotes, then there's some people that are saying, hasn't said no either. Then you look at the team and you think about what Aaron can do and what Aaron does best. Accuracy and reading a defense. That is kind of what Aaron Rodgers does. The Kevin O'Connell offense, what do you need? You need to be able to read a defense, and you need to be accurate because you're going to have to make tight window throws. But you're going to have to know that you're going to make those tight window throws. So that's reading the defense. He has both those things at his age. That team is loaded. They were playing for the number 1 seed in the NFC on week 18 against the Detroit Lions. So obviously they lose, quick exit out of the playoffs. Nobody wanted that for the Vikings. But from a team perspective, with B-Flow leading that defense and Kevin O'Connell's offense, with the amount of weapons they have, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're hearing that there's still a chance you could potentially go there, wouldn't you want to know if that is true or not before deciding anything for the first time in your free agency period? That's kind of where we stand, seemingly, with the Aaron Rodgers saga. That's seemingly where we're at.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, why would he rush to make a decision now if he thinks that that door is even open like 5% of the way? Like, I think a lot of people would assume that he deep down, or like just when you look at the situation as a whole, that he would maybe prefer to play for the Vikings as opposed to the Steelers, although the Steelers kind of seems like the slam dunk option right now. But this just, it's like we've talked time and time again how this is going to be the last decision he makes in terms of what team he's going to play for his entire career. Or he's going to just be done. One of the two. So it's like, if that's the case, and you think that this is even a like the least bit of an option, and you kind of want to go there, then like he's going to continue to take his time.
We are just speaking as people that are watching it all unfold publicly, as all of you are. We have no extra information. AJ Hawk will be back next week. He's on spring break with his kids this week. We're hoping they're having a great time. We'll try to pressure him into letting us know if he's been told anything. He won't say it. Damn word.
Nope.
And does it last in the next? Like there's so many.
Yes.
I think we all kind of are wondering the same thing, but I think the conversation that's missing from some people is like huge decision for Aaron Rodgers. This is a huge for his life.
Yeah.
For his future. For his leg, there's a lot on the line here whenever it comes to making this particular.
I feel like the good part for if you're a Steelers fan and like you're like, all right, come on, make a decision. At this point, I don't think it matters. Like if Aaron comes and plays on the Steelers, it's most likely a 1-year deal. It shouldn't affect their draft situation this year. Like if they're going to draft a quarterback this year, I don't think if Aaron's there or not should affect it or whatever, because it's going to be either they're going to sit behind Aaron and learn a ton, or they're going to compete with Mason and be a starter potentially. But I mean, it could be till Midsummer's Night that at this point that we're going to get a decision. Yes.
Well, and also it could be Midsummer's Night or maybe the orange blossom moon in your eyes. But honestly, I mean, it could be whenever.
I wouldn't.
The Giants said they're done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
They either got intel that they were no longer in, or they said we need a decision before the draft, obviously, because there's a lot that hinges upon it, and maybe said it wasn't able to do that. We don't know. Once again, we do not know, but that is clearly what happened in the Giants building. It's like for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they signed Mason Rudolph. Let's assume that they have interest in somebody in this draft at quarterback position.
Potentially.
And now they move. Good luck, Aaron. We're pulling for you, buddy.
At this point, I kind of want him to wait till after OTAs because I don't want to hear the bullshit about he's got to go to Gaza or the pyramids or whatever and fucking check those out and miss OTAs or whatever.
He likes to travel. I don't think he's going to Gaza.
I'm at Giza.
Pyramids of Giza.
Sure.
Yes.
It's our first flight to Gaza.
Yep.
The name is out there.
I'm at Giza.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about the world, but
Freudian slip.
What's going on with his pyramids? Has he checked them out since we found out the new stuff?
I would assume he's got a couple shovels, and he's heading over there soon, and he's gonna just dig until he finds what he's looking for.
What an interesting development, just out of nowhere too. Like, oh yeah, these things that everybody's wondered about forever. Let's add a little bit fucking more to that.
Yep.
It's what year? 2025? Did you know? We just found there's hundreds of feet of
Yeah.
coils.
It's actually 2 miles deep, and there's a whole structure down there.
Yeah, never knew that before. How? How did we not know? Have we not checked this thing out inside and out? Has there not been this is a modern marvel. What the fuck have we not been looking into? How do we just now find out? Yeah, I don't think any of us could have expected what's down there. Well, what's down there? A lot. It's like, well, where'd that come from? We have no idea. We have no idea. So, all right, good. Happy we're all learning. Happy we're all learning. And then once you read about that, then you scroll to the next one. Some billionaire has a escape room, a hideaway room that's like 30,000 square foot underground. It's like, well, what he's getting ready for? Well, you know, the people of the past, they dug underneath there. They thought someone was. It's like, well, all right. I'm just going to continue to be a land animal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got any sports on right now?
Yeah, is there algorithm? Algorithm. Sweet
Golf shot,
16.
golf shot.
TGL. I know I said no TGL before, but now I need TGL back. It does get like this. And I was, what do I got to do? I got to go into the search and give this thing some new directions.
Yeah, for real.
That's how you talk to it, I think. Bub, enough. I don't need to see somebody getting curb stomped at fucking 7:30 a.m.
Please, no.
The death videos are coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had to. I think it was because the Oklahoma drill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
could be.
the guy that runs the Oklahoma drill, that's in Australia, I guess. So he added me in a video, and I watched his video. I guess they're doing that like once a month. They do those. And I started seeing more videos come out of that. There's some real collisions happening.
I bet.
There's some real. So I think because the Oklahoma drill got into my algo, the algo was like, oh, you like that? Wait till you see this.
Little taste of violence.
There's nothing with sports involved, but we got some other collisions that are coming on. And it's like, no, I don't want to see that. So you got to go back into the search and tell them.
No death. There should be a no death option.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. There was for a long time.
Yeah, there was kind of a.
There was a long
like
time.
A kind of a handshake agreement
Between us and.
Yeah, I'll go.
I wish Debo was here. Debo took a certification class on AI yesterday.
He did.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, walk over. He's in the middle. He's in his computer. I look over, and there's a big question across there. It says, number one question: can my computer think for me? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing right now? And he goes, I'm taking an IBM class. 10 minutes, it says. I'm going to learn about AI. I said, you're dropping into a class right now? He goes, absolutely. I go, if you could keep me updated, that'd be great. And that 10-minute class, I think, turned into, he won in a 201. Then he got into 301. By the end of the day yesterday, I think he had a certificate on AI information.
He's taking good notes.
Yeah, he was. Full notes. Full notebook through this yesterday on AI. Thank God he's a part of our group. Yeah, can a computer really think? This was the start of it yesterday. Can a computer really think? That was first page. His big takeaway yesterday was that these motherfuckers can never have a conversation. You know, they don't understand context.
Yeah.
So what we got them in is always going to need, at this point, that's me wondering, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
You're taking a class right now? Absolutely. That notebook right in front of him, filled it out completely. It was awesome. Once he told me what he was doing, I was like, God, you're such a better human than I am. That is such a good play to be able to do that. He had to pass a test yesterday. I think he was really stressing out the test at the end of the day.
Yeah, sure.
Because he had stuff that he had learned at 8 a.m., over in that room. He was taking a test over here. There was a thing. I think he did good, though.
He does love. He's always trying to learn something.
Always. Investment stuff, AI stuff. Yeah, he makes the most of his time. It's very awesome to watch. I look at his screen. Can a computer really think? I go, D-butt. Let's fucking not be dumb. And then he says, no, complete opposite. I'm taking a full fucking class, a course here. He's going to have a certificate, I think. I'm like, we just put that thing up.
Yeah.
Start stacking those certificates up.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we get better today.
Do
you think we did?
I did. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, we get better 1% every day.
Thunder Buckets, I'm going to get better today.
There you go.
All right, boys. It's been a great week thus far. Shout out to all our guests today taking time. Second Lieutenant in the Air Force, Wyatt Hendrickson, congrats on your championship and also being a guy that I think all of us are going to rally behind for the 2028 Olympics. Good luck on your quest for that, and good luck in your service in the Air Force whenever you complete that. Shout out to Koa Pete. Sorry, Koa. That was at the beginning of the show. Koa was awesome.
Yeah.
No NIL deals around him.
No.
We kind of talked about that during the break.
Yeah, no DoorDash bag, nothing, just all business.
Just him and his mom. Just like, hey, here's what I want to do. Thanked every person that got him to the place. Absolute professional, obviously older brother, currently offensive lineman for the Raiders. His dad was in the NFL. I think his bunch of his older brothers. He's one of 7. A couple of his older brothers played college hoops. Sister played college football. His sister played college hoops. It was like, this guy made for it. And congrats to Arizona.
Yeah.
Congrats to Arizona. Seth Greenberg, obviously, great chatter. Sweet 16 tonight. Let's enjoy it. And hope you win all your bets. Seth Greenberg likes Arizona plus 9.5.
Yep.
And he likes BYU Alabama over.
Yep.
He said this is an NBA game happening here in these two. So Seth's giving out a couple bets. What's that, Bruce?
Did he like Coach Cal's Razorbacks as well?
Oh, yeah, he did like Coach Cal's Razorbacks. And then I said, thank you for giving out picks. I didn't know. He goes, I got to do something. I'm talking all day. So he just started seeing. He saw those numbers up there.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Here we go. I am going to let it ride.
The over for Alabama BYU, just so everyone knows, is 175.5, which in a college basketball game is
insane,
absurd.
Did he know it was 175 and a half?
Probably not.
I don't think so. That's a lot of points.
They can shoot it now.
90-90?
They can shoot it.
Said it was going to be an NBA game.
Yeah,
He
legit.
did.
They just bomb threes.
90-90?
Yeah. It's the Book of Mormon.
Are they playing
2025 college basketball?
Yep.
Good question.
Basketball stadium or they're playing at the
Prudential
Hawks?
Center. Prudential Center.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, that's where the Devils play.
All right. Maybe they'll flatten the ball out a little bit.
Exactly. 90-90 damn near the game has to be, somewhere around there.
I mean, the Wisconsin BYU game was super high scoring, so I mean, it could get there, but you worry about them being maybe just a tiny bit tight in the Sweet 16.
I watched 48-46 the other day.
BYU averages 82, allows 72, but Alabama can fill it. It is a very high total, but if it goes, it's going to go.
It is hard to envision after watching Arkansas and St. John's just foul each other every possession for 2 hours straight to imagine a 90-90 game, but maybe we're getting that tonight.
All right, I'm riding with you, Seth. Just because of how ridiculous it feels.
Bama averages 90.8 a game.
Okay.
Okay, and how much BYU? You said 82?
82.
Okay, so that's 172.
Still a couple short.
We're doing it. And those are, how's Alabama's defense? Not great?
Let me get that.
Because you said BYU gives up 72 points?
72.
That feels like a lot of points in college hoops.
Yeah.
No, we wait. Is Alabama smack the wood or not?
Their opponent, they are ranked 346 in opponent points per game.
So no.
Okay, so the over's happening.
They do not smack the wood.
They are number one in points per game, 346 in opponent. They give up 81 a game.
They're an over machine.
All right, so let's assume this one goes over.
Okay.
If you don't ride with us, we understand, though.
Sure.
Because, boy, I don't like it. That's a lot of points.
My God.
Let's fill up the bucket tonight, boys. Okay? Let's start this Sweet 16 in electrifying fashion. Let's do some offense. All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Okay? We appreciate you all so much. TikTok Live crew, TikTok people, thank you for rocking with us. To the ESPN Plus people and Disney Plus people, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your life. And to the OG YouTube crew, hell yeah. You guys knew it was uncensored over here the entirety.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people watching the ESPN version of it going, why's the audio keep getting muted? LeBron's team doesn't want him to get a beep because it sounds bad, so they mute him. It's like, no, we do that every time because I think the beep is obnoxious. I think it makes it sound like you're saying something terrible. So the mute was the decision that was made by me coming on to ESPN. Did not know it was going to be as long of a beep, though. I thought it had a little bit more agility. Sure. I thought the beep had a little bit more agility, but that is a safe nail there. Uncensored in its entirety, currently living on YouTube, and was uncensored in its entirety on YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube people. I can't wait to see some of you YouTube people and some of you people that allow this to happen every single day at PPG Paints Arena on April 9th, Wednesday night. We'll be streaming it live on YouTube, TikTok Live, and X. And obviously, in the arena is going to be hopefully electrifying. All signs are pointing to that. We might open up a couple more tickets.
Oh.
Might open up a few more tickets now. There's going to be some tickets that are going to be in some of the giveaway zones. Okay, everybody that's already purchased a ticket is in a giveaway zone. But then there were some seats that didn't get into the giveaway zone, but also were potentially going to be like for cameras that we've been able to reconfigure and find more tickets for sale. So there are a few seats, individual seats, that are available in giveaway zones, okay? Then we opened up some more with the pretense that are going to be like, this is a non-giveaway section. So it'll probably be $15 instead of $20. It'll probably be even cheaper, but there will be another section or two being opened up that is not in a giveaway zone, which is going to be a big part of the show. I think there's going to be more than a handful of winners, okay? So it's not going to be like thousands of winners. There's going to be more than a handful of winners. There's going to be tickets that are going to be available that you definitely will not be. But there will be a lot of people in the arena that are not winners. But there will be people in there that are massive winners.
Yes.
And those people will all be in the game, except for the non-giveaway zone tickets that will be available.
But those will be cheap.
Those will be cheaper than the actual tickets because you're not in the giveaway zone.
Right.
But there will be individual tickets that were in the giveaway zones that have become available as well that we're going to put up for sale. So I think look for that in the next few days, another wave of ticket sales. You can get in the building, have a good time with us, and then if you're coming alone or didn't think about coming alone, know that if you do and you get that ticket, you're going to feel at home whenever you walk in there. It is not going to matter. That thing is going to be a vibe inside with all parties. So we appreciate the hell out of everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.